Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back with another edition of the Roger Report Live. And man, we gonna dig into some stuff here. Should be a final broadcast for a while. I thought it was gonna take a little longer to get to a pause in this particular type of content, but we're on Karmelo Anthony again. So this, I'm going to assume, will be the last particular thing about this particular subject for a while. Okay, and let's, sometimes you got to come back with stuff. But today we are dealing with Karmelo Anthony, y'all. Conviction versus convictions. Okay, Karmelo Anthony, conviction versus convictions. All right, now before we get too far into this, and I know that may be deep for some of y'all, it might be deep, okay, but that's what we're gonna deal with. But before we get too far in this, first of all, shout out to all the people who come through and give me views on a regular basis, because y'all make up the fam around here. Appreciate y'all big time. Shout out to all the people who regularly you come out and you give those comments after the stream. I appreciate y'all. And even the ones who do it every blue moon or every once in a while, or if you did it even one time, it all helps at the end of the day. You're helping with that algorithm, you're helping grow the channel, you're helping the world be a better place, whether it's a lot or a little. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. And shout out to the people who hype me up every chance they get. Now, I know you can only do it so much, so I'm just going to say, y'all, hit me with one a week, okay? Just hit me with one a week, okay? You ain't got to use them all on me, but hit me with one a week. I'm just saying, okay? Also, shout out to people who hit that like button. Yo, you could never do too many like buttons, okay? Whether you catch it live, whether you catch this on a replay, whether you catch this on a replay for months ago, even years ago, make sure you always hit those like buttons, y'all. Make sure you always do that, okay? And shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty, the people who become financial contributors over here at the Roger Report Live, because let's keep it real, they're big motivators, and I cannot do things the same way without them, but we got to be real about that. So shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, my main man. I think this is a person who deserves it. Kind of came up with how I'm doing it now, but who deserves it more than him? Shout out to Roastmaster One. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Glad to always have you in the building. And that's real talk. Thank you very much for all you do, brother. Thank you very much for all you do. And again, that's real talk. Appreciate you, man. You've been a great supporter. And I thank God for you, brother. Thank God for you. All right, y'all. Let's give it up to some of the people to check in first this morning, and y'all know how it goes over here at the Roger Report Live. There can only be one. So shout out to the Highlander of today's stream, my main man. He's done it again. Mr. Me Too is in the building. He got it. Shout out to you, my brothers. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. We got the Great Black Reset following up. Glad to see you too, brother. Glad to see you too. Even though you're my favorite hater, I'm still glad to see him. Okay. Shout out to Trail Billy coming through, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag hey Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Bronk is in the building, still doing his thing. Still doing his thing. But I can appreciate it, brother. I can appreciate it. Shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Tunnel Runner is in the building as well. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. Shout out to my main man, Shark Sims, boy. Good to see you, brother. I see you. I see you, brother. I do see you. I just want you to know I do see you. Shout out to Afro Merchant in the building. Great to have you here, brother. Great to have you here. MON72, what's up, my brother? What's up? And shout out to Listen, who just pulled up at the cool table, man. Glad to have y'all here. Glad to have y'all here, y'all. Now, this gonna be an interesting episode because now we got some footage, y'all. We got the footage. And I know there's been other people talking about the footage. They've been talking about stuff and they ain't finna do nothing probably nowhere close to what I'm gonna do with it. But we got the footage, y'all. We got the footage, okay? We are here dealing with Karmelo Anthony one more time. Not that it's a problem. It's cool. Shout out to Karmelo. Shout out to Karmelo. I'm still gonna be supportive of the brother. Okay, I'm gonna be supportive of the brother. Unfortunately, sometimes we do things and no matter what you view about it at that particular time, it can play out that the thing you did is a mistake. Okay? But I'm gonna say shout out to Karmelo Anthony because at the end of the day, he taking it like a man, y'all. He taking it like a man. He done stabbed Austin Metcalf, and Austin Metcalf died. Shout out to him. Okay. Well, shout out to the supporters of him. I'll say, I don't know if, he can't get no shout out at this point. Okay. But shout out to his supporters. Shout out to his supporters. And I'm going to say, y'all, this case, not that it's good that somebody dies. A lot of people going to see that as a very tragic thing. A lot of people are hurt by the fact that Austin Metcalf, came to what people would call an untimely demise. But at the end of the day, he did put his hands on somebody. All right. He did put his hands on somebody. And unfortunately for him, the person he decided to put his hands on just wasn't going to take it lying down. You know? And I can get that. And I can accept that. You know? And again, I totally get people who feel that it's very tragic. Because some of y'all feel it's a very tragic thing that Austin Metcalf died. Okay. Okay. And I totally get that. You know, I'm pretty sure he's just another dead white guy who was going to be problematic for people for years and years to come. Now, some people may say, Raj, that's a whole lot to say. No. I'm just saying, y'all, there are reputations out there. I don't know how true they are or not. I don't know that. The only thing I do know is he decided to put his hands on Karmelo, which if I were his advisor, I would tell him the same thing that I've said on my different channels multiple times. Don't put your hands on anybody. It's that simple. Okay? Do not put your hands on folks. That's just not a good policy to do. And real talk, y'all, if you put your hands on somebody and after whatever happens, and you ain't glad you put your hands on them, probably was not a good idea. Okay? It's probably not a good idea. Sometimes we need to be convicted in the things that we do. We need to say, hey, this is the decision I'm making. I'm rolling with this decision. I'm going to stick with this decision because I see that it's a very good thing if I go about this particular action. Like, all I'm saying is agree with your own decision. Agree with your own decision. Now, I know a lot of people haven't talked about it from what I've seen, but then I'd be trying to avoid coverage with a lot of folks because, you know, I know there are a lot of trash content creators out there and the truth don't matter to folks. You know, so I get that. All right. And so the thing is, Austin Metcalf is dead. He ain't coming back. All right. Now, some people are going to feel sorry for him or his family and things like that. Some of us are not. Okay. And it's probably difficult, you know, well, at least it should be. It should be difficult for his parents, especially because Austin Metcalf has a twin brother named Hunter. And as y'all know, Hunter never took the stand for whatever reason. I don't know how that whole thing happened. Hunter didn't take the stand. I don't get it. But hey, it is what it is. Now, Hunter's still alive. All right? Hunter's still alive. Hunter done graduated high school now. Okay. You know, they did give Austin a high school diploma. They did give him a high school diploma, y'all. I don't know how he finished his high school work to get that diploma. I don't know how Austin did that from the grade, but they gave him a high school diploma. Okay, as it's been reported, they gave him a high school diploma. Hunter accepted his dead brother's high school diploma. Yeah, I'm under the assumption that he never finished the credits and things that he needed to get that high school diploma. That's the assumption I'm under. Now, hey, maybe he was a junior. He did enough stuff to graduate. You know, sometimes people do enough to graduate early. That does happen. We can't act like that don't happen. I don't know if that happened in his particular case. I do know they said, screw it. We're going to give it to his brother. Okay? And that's what happened. Now, see, this is the thing, y'all. His parents going to look at Hunter over the years. We don't know how long his life is going to last, but they're going to look at Hunter over the years. And since Hunter is a twin of Austin, yes, you will see Hunter, but I tend to believe that just maybe, I mean, if these are caring parents that actually love their children, not saying they perfect parents, but if they're caring parents that actually love their children, every time they look at Hunter, they're going to see Austin. They were twin brothers. Okay. So how do you have a twin brother? You know, these two, I mean, they look so alike. How do you look at Hunter without seeing Austin? You know, they're gonna. I'm pretty sure Hunter's gonna remind them of Austin regularly for the rest of their life, and I can totally understand why this can be an extremely hard blow to them. You know, and I think people should take that as a serious thing. This is gonna be hard for them on that level. Okay, especially looking so much alike. You know, not saying other people wouldn't do that in other families where you don't necessarily have twins or anything like that, but you know, there's brothers and sisters who look very much alike. So I can understand that. Now, unfortunately, this situation is Jeff Metcalf's fault. Okay. Yes, y'all. This is a situation that is Jeff Metcalf's fault. Now, people may say, "Well, Roger, how you saying that? That's being cruel." No. That's being consistent, y'all. The boys were 17. They were minors. They were children. And until you 18, you a child. It is what it is. And as I've said time and time again, you know, life ain't fair. And if you are the parent of that minor, you a custodial parent, it's on you about what that minor is doing. It's not fair, but it is what it is. Minors are not their own people. They're the property of their parents. Okay. Now, if something happens where you change guardianship or, you know, maybe you become the property of somebody else, but at the end of the day, you're the property of your parents. So all this is because Jeff Metcalf's son couldn't keep it together. Okay. This is all because Jeff Metcalf's son couldn't keep it together. If he could have been the leader they claimed he was, he'd be alive today. And we wouldn't necessarily be familiar with a story about Karmelo Anthony. Okay? We wouldn't be, you know. Now, I'm going to say shout out to Shark Sims. Shout out to you, brother. He's a victim, Lane. No, he was not a victim. He's not a victim. He did something that caused his death. Now, I will grant you this. I don't believe he thought he was going to die. I don't believe he thought he was going to die when he put his hands on Karmelo Anthony. Okay? According to the stuff that was reported, none of the kids thought Austin was about to die. People said that, you know, according to the people that reported stuff, they said they thought Karmelo was bluffing. Now, I'm going to say based on the actual actions, you can see that they did think Karmelo was bluffing, or you can say they thought Austin definitely thought whatever Karmelo was going to do was not going to be enough for him to keep doing what he wanted to do. Now, the thing is, y'all, we can't get all bent out of shape because something is inconvenient for us. Okay? You can't get bent out of shape because something is inconvenient for us. And Karmelo Anthony's conviction was based on people's convictions. See, as people, we have convictions. We have these beliefs. We pick certain hills to die on, as they say. People have convictions. Now, I looked a little into this stuff. You know, y'all know this happened in Texas. What does Texas say about murder? Okay. Look, man, you can't just be killing people in Texas. I'm gonna just tell y'all, based on how the law reads, you can't just be killing people in Texas, man. It ain't cool like that. It's just not accepted like that, y'all. It's not. All right. So again, y'all, it's, you know, you can't change up on stuff because stuff is inconvenient. Now, this is the thing, y'all. All right. Now, you know, I looked this up just to make sure. Okay. It says 19-year-old Texas teenager, Karmelo Anthony. Now, remember, he was 17 at the time, just like Austin. He said is in trouble for fatally stabbing 17-year-old high school track athlete Austin Metcalf. All right. The altercation took place in April of 2025 at a track meet in Frisco, Texas, after Anthony refused to leave a rival's team's tent. A Collin County jury found Anthony guilty of murder and sentenced him to 35 years in prison. Okay? Rejecting his claims of self-defense. All right? So people that were on that jury just said this ain't self-defense. It is what it is. Okay? They decided this is not self-defense. Now they got a right to do that. Okay? Now I know, a lot of people start saying a bunch of stuff about this tape, which of course there's a link in the description so y'all can see the tape. Okay? Whatever you want to think of that, it is what it is. Now, let me let y'all know something, okay? It says under Texas Penal Code, murder is defined as intentionally or knowingly causing the death of an individual, intending to cause serious bodily injury, and committing an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in death, or causing a death while committing or attempting to commit another felony. Now we know that second part didn't have anything really to do with it, okay? Karmelo Anthony wasn't on no crime spree or anything like that. Okay, so that wasn't that big a thing. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Me Too. Let's see what he's saying real quick. He said, slight pushback, Roger. You can't do that in Texas if you're a black man. Mr. Me Too, I do see your point. And I ain't finna say that just yet. Y'all remember, this is about conviction versus convictions. Okay. Now when you look at, Texas law, okay, you get some interesting things that come up. Okay. Now, they do have a standard murder versus a capital murder in Texas law. Okay. That's what they got, y'all. Standard murder says usually a first degree felony punishable by 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. So not only may you end up in prison, you might actually got to pay $10,000 on top of it. Okay. Cool. Is what it is. All right. All right. It says if the defendant proves they acted under quote unquote sudden passion, that's a term, sudden passion, quote unquote, caused by an adequate provocation, it may be reduced to a second degree felony, which carries a penalty of 2 to 20 years in prison. All right. Now it's either that, you got your standard murder, then you got your capital murder, which wouldn't even come up. Just to tell you a bit of capital murder, it says charged under specific circumstances, such as murdering a police officer or fighter fire on duty, killing a child under 10, committing multiple murders, or killing someone during the commission of another violent felony, et cetera, other stuff that don't really affect this situation. So now we got the tape, y'all. Now I've said myself, the reason I ain't gonna say too much more was because you can see something different if we see the tape and then the tape give us some great expression or we get some new information, because we was depending on people saying what they saw. Okay, if you was listening to somebody, you listen to people on saying what they saw in the courtroom because the public wasn't allowed, or you listen to a person saying what they said that somebody else said that they saw, or you might be listening to a person who said what they said. At the end of the day, you will remove yourself from the situation. Okay, you were removed. And you know what? People can have some good speculation. There could be some bad speculation. And I've said myself, we got to take some consideration to the fact that these were 17-year-old kids. Okay. Now, this case has a whole lot to do with race. Not to the kids, to the people covered it. Has a whole lot to do with race. And see, when you got adults looking at this through racial lenses, and let's be real, that's what was happening. Now we can pretend like nobody was looking at this through a racial lens, but that clearly was happening. Okay. And my thing is America. You have the right to look at things through a racial lens. I ain't even tripping that you're doing it. Okay. It's your right. And the adults was trying to make this about race far more than it had anything to do with, because to these kids, this was about people and egos. These are young men growing up, not quite adults yet, just getting really started in life the way people normally see it. And they had egos that clash. That's what this really was about. Some egos clash. And Austin decided to do something that he shouldn't have did. Austin decided to put his hands on Karmelo. And the thing is, when a person has been killed, they were held accountable. Okay? Austin got held accountable. He got taken up out of here. Now, the thing is, because Austin's white, people were salty that Austin got held accountable by getting taken up out of here. And the thing is, people conveniently say, well, you can't control how somebody's going to respond to you when you do something that you ain't supposed to be doing. See, that's a convenient thing for a lot of folks. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying people say this conveniently, because when people say that stuff, they don't really think about, well, what if the person pull out a knife and stab you and you die? Oh, that's too much. But see, when you're real, you understand that's part of it too. That's part of it too. When you bother somebody, they may pull out a knife and stab you to death. A guy may shoot you to death. Somebody might punch you. You fall the right way, you die. Somebody might push you. You fall a long distance and you die. The risk of death is always included with bothering people. But I understand we're in America, and America is a country that pushes white supremacy. And even though, people can be black, they're going to learn how to be a white supremacist if they grow up in this country too. It is your own personal responsibility to put that white supremacist nonsense way of thinking away. And if you don't do that as an individual, that's your fault. Okay. Now, if you a child, I'm going to let that slide because you a kid. But once you become an adult, that's on you, man. Ain't no excuses when you're an adult. So see, I understand Austin put his hands where they should not have been. I'm not going to say I wanted Austin to die, but I understand he had to die because he did it to the wrong person. It's that simple at the end of the day. And some people going to say, well, Roger, I mean, that's too far. Yeah. We ain't trying to live in the Wild Wild West. Yeah, if we're not trying to live in the Wild Wild West, you probably shouldn't be putting your hands on people. That's the first indication that you're not trying to live in the Wild Wild West. I ain't never put my hands on somebody unless I thought it was necessary. It's that simple at the end of the day. However, I was thinking at the time, I actually thought it was necessary. I haven't put my hands on anybody, and I regretted doing it. People can interpret whether I'm right or wrong. If they happen to be there and they seen what happened, I ain't never, ever put my hands on somebody and regretted that I put my hands on. But I don't start mess either. Okay? I don't start mess either. Now, Austin Metcalf was a leader. He said, I'm going to put my hands on Karmelo, and I'm going to get him about this thing, y'all. And I don't watch the tape. The link is in the description, y'all. The tape right there. Okay? Now, let's be realistic about this tape. This tape ain't swayed nothing in that courtroom. That tape is not enough to sway nothing in the courtroom. It is a tape. It does show events. But the vantage point you see, that tape ain't enough to change nobody's anything. So why was Karmelo convicted? Karmelo was convicted because the people who had the decision-making ability, the jury, I'm not saying whether they right or wrong. I'm saying they simply were their own personal convictions put them in a position where Karmelo Anthony could not defend himself with that knife. It is what it is. All this stuff about what people saw in this video, man, you are hearing people's personal convictions come out. This video ain't got swinging power in it. It just don't. You're hearing people's personal convictions. Yes, the link is in the description. I saw it too, y'all. That video ain't swaying nobody. Now, see, people, well, you know, the video show this, the video show that video ain't enough to sway anybody on anything. However you interpret that video, that's how you saw it. You saw it that way before you saw that video. That video ain't swaying squat. Okay, and I'm saying the video of the act itself, that didn't sway anybody. Now, if you want to talk about technicalities about, you know, Karmelo got himself convicted because he was talking too much, I won't say, yeah, he definitely was talking too much. You gotta learn to shut up sometime. Now, I can understand it because he's 17. I'm gonna say there's a problem. Well, in this particular case, a problem came out because it wasn't drilled in enough to Karmelo Anthony to not talk to the police. See, Karmelo Anthony must have believed in officer friendly. Okay, he must have believed in officer friendly. Okay, there are people who believe that you go to a police officer, the police officer is trained to help you. There are people who actually believe that. But if you actually pay attention to the police, especially if you black and you're male, the police officer job is to lock you up so you can be tried and convicted. That is what a police officer's actual job is. To get you locked up so you can be tried and convicted. Karmelo should have just shut up. That's what Karmelo should have did. On some real talk, he should have just shut up. You put your own narratives together. I ain't gonna help you with it. Y'all, my father is the most honest man I've ever seen. That I'm saying I've spent any real time with. I've seen different people. My father's the most honest man I ever seen. Now, does that mean my father is this super honest guy that he's more honest than, you know, 99.9% of the play? I don't know what to tell you on that. I ain't never seen that man lie. I'm telling you straight up, y'all. I've never seen my father lie. Never. Not one time have I got information and I can say that my father lied. I can't do it. I can't say that without lying myself. And my daddy told me, son, you don't never tell on yourself. That's what my daddy told me. I don't even know if I truly understood why he was telling me that at the time. Okay, I can't say I really understood the whole impact of what he was trying to communicate to me at that time. But I ain't never seen him lie. And he told me, son, don't ever tell on yourself. Okay. But hey, it is what it is. Now I do have a guest coming up, smart mouth guest, obviously, because he here come Why You Lying. But hey, I'm gonna let him get on and speak his piece. Why You Lying? Welcome to the stage. What's up, my brother? What's up? Do your thing. Do your thing.
Oh, where do I start? Where do I start? Well, listen, I'm gonna call you Willie D. Jr. today. You know,
Hey
I
man.
don't, I don't know whether to be ashamed of you or proud of you, man. You gonna down this hill, I guess.
No, you don't even know what hill I'm on. You don't even know what hill I'm on.
Man,
and shout
you,
out to Brunt, your favorite. He say, take it down, Lodge. I might have to consider that, Bronk. I might have to consider that.
sir,
But go ahead, brother. Let's go on, speak your piece and put your foot in your mouth. Go
sir,
ahead. Go ahead.
sir. We okay. Listen, it's a third-degree felony to take a knife on the school campus. He was a felon when he got there. All right. Now listen, this whole thing about this video ain't changed nobody's opinion. Hey man, listen. I don't know what kind of lion you is, but I know you a big lion, a big one,
I'm king of
bro.
this jungle. That's for sure.
Bro, I tried to hang out with you when we did the first show. I tried to do the black and the black thing, and hey man, I'm with you. They kids, man. I feel bad for the Metcalf family. I feel bad for, uh, I feel bad for Carmelo. I want to say that first. They babies, man. They really are. They babies. They somebody's babies, right? But you got a dead body. You got the knife at the scene. You got blood on your hands, and you told a cop you did it. Bro, ain't no racism involved. Racism ain't even had to show up to this one. It just didn't. And it's clear on the video. He told the cop. The cop said, I have the alleged suspect in custody. He said, I'm not alleged. I did it. What else you want? Cop ain't asking nothing. He, Bro, his father never taught him how to engage with police officers. I blame his daddy. Our children need to learn conflict resolution. We cannot bring knives to school, and you don't bring a knife to a fist fight, man. We got to be honest about that, man. We can't send the wrong message to our youth. And if you go turn a blind eye to that, Willie D got the perfect channel for you. That man ain't gonna stand up for you. I don't care what happens. You can be on video looking right at the video saying, "Yep, I just done it." Willie D gonna look out for you. Promise you, we can't do that over here, man. We can't do that over here, man. We got to tell the truth. I'm gonna land there for now. But God dog it, I got you up here on my picture, man. I don't know what kind of lion you is, but you're a big one.
Yeah. Now I want y'all to notice how I just let him put his foot all in his mouth. Notice I just let him do it, y'all. I just let him do it. Okay.
Let's go.
Now,
Rumble in the jungle, baby. Let's go.
now, what did I just say, y'all? The video of the actual event ain't swayed nobody on nothing. Now, notice he talked about all these different things that was not the video of the actual event, which kind of proves my point. The video of the actual event didn't mean anything. He just went to all the stuff that had nothing to do with the video of the actual event. That video ain't swaying nobody on squat. Okay? Boom. Also, he agreed with me that Carmelo Anthony's father should have did some more to make sure he understands not to talk to the police. It is what it is. Again, they are children. So this all happened because of what's his name? Jeff Metcalf. Jeff Metcalf did not teach his son to leave other folks alone. He was supposed to be a leader and he's supposed to approach the situation differently. And he is dead due to the lack of training of his father. And guess what, y'all? When you're 17 and down, the people that's raising you, they get the blame for what you did. That's the game. It ain't fair, but it's real. So this is Jeff Metcalf's fault. He's the head of his household. Austin was a representative of Jeff Metcalf's household. And Austin started putting his hands on people when he shouldn't have. It is what it is. I understand polite culture, but at the end of the day, you don't get to put your hands on people. And once you cross that line, you might die. Now, people want to act like that's not a real thing because it ain't convenient sometimes, but that is the reality of living in America. Once you put your hands on somebody, you might die. That's a real thing. Not saying it should happen. Not saying it shouldn't happen. I'm just saying that is the reality. But I'm going to hold fast on some other stuff, but he put his foot all in his mouth, and I appreciate him for it. My favorite hater, bro. I appreciate you. Real talk. But let me let these other guys get in since they done came up too. Shout out to the great white supremacist. That name and that avatar. That name and that avatar. That's something right there, y'all. That's something right there. But we gonna give him the flow, and he gets a 3-minute opening statement. Go ahead, my brother.
Hey man, look, I just came up here today
my bad.
I just came up here to moderate All the
Yeah.
coon niggas who gonna come up here today. I came up here to moderate you niggas today. Cause I know it's gonna be some cooning going on. And I just wanna be here to make sure that the cooning stays in order. I know this man over here, why you lying? I know he actually about to be telling all the lies today. I gotta come here to stop it. I know a few other brothers. I know Shark out there. He gonna come up here. He gonna be lying too. I'm gonna have to stop it. Just here to stop all the lies today, Roger. Just here to stop all the lies today, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Now, this got to be the most hilarious combination of name with avatar. Yeah. Shout out to the great one because I thought you was him. Okay, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I said 3-minute open stat. I thought you was our local Ivy Leaguer, but whoa, that's hilarious, brother. This is hilarious. I was like, oh, that's him. That's got to be him. But we got 2 more guys who came up, so let's let them get their 2-minute statements in, and we're gonna keep the party going. Good kid, mad niggas, go right ahead, brother. You got the flow.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, brother.
And I would like to tell all the students from Django, stop crying. Not coming back. Stop crying. Stop crying over Massa. Massa ain't coming back. You're free now. It's you. You're free now. Okay? You ain't gotta cry. Can you hear me? You're free to go now. Okay? Good. I think there you go. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. You was a little choppy, but we appreciate you.
That's
Inspired.
God.
Inspired you broadcasters here, so we gonna turn it right on over to him. You got it, my brother.
All right. First off, peace to you, Raj. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, a terrific Thursday. You're going to have to, after I get through my statement, you're going to have to reset my time so I can go again because we got reset up on here, I got to get more time. It takes time to respond to him. All right, so look, one quick thing here. Before I even really get heavy into it, like we gotta stop with this whole deal with like a little bit of the false framing. Like that I caught that term over there. It's like, oh, he was a felon before he even even like stabbed the dude, but like nah, he wasn't. Like he wasn't convicted of anything before this. The knife that he did have, again. The lawyer himself argued that it was not an illegal knife. He wasn't doing that just for the fun of doing it. He was doing it because there was an actual dare there. Like he was doing it because that was a legitimate argument. Now, the other stuff here is like we get into like a whole lot of superficial things. We got that video, everybody's seeing whatever they want from the video. Some people are seeing multiple people because, oh, well, he got swayed this way, then he got swayed that way, which would indicate multiple attackers. And you don't have to be getting jumped and getting your ass kicked to say that you have multiple aggressors and thus lethal action is necessary. Like that's another legal thing. So there's all these little like nuanced, little superficial things that we end up dealing with. This other lady ends up tumbling down and falling down from the bleachers after Carmelo's actually ran off and gone. Like all of these other little things are all just like little nuanced, little superficial things. And the real actual important stuff is like the bigger story. Like what we see here, we'll say, hey, what about Kyle Rittenhouse? He had a whole ass rifle and deleted multiple people. And then he gets scot-free. You have Daniel Penny who goes and sneaks up behind like a smaller black man, ends up killing him, and he gets off scot-free. You have like all of these, and then we have like in the same state of Texas, we have Daniel Perry who ends up deleting multiple people, gets convicted, and the governor takes his ass and exonerates him. Like everything down the line, like that we end up pointing out there's always, oh, but the circumstances of the case, you gotta look at each case individually. Oh, but this happened with that guy and that happened with that guy. What about context? But then when we get down to a black a black brother, now all of a sudden we're just going straight to, oh, well, there was the presence of a knife. Oh, well, there was a lethal stabbing. And then that's it. And that's all that's required. Like, well, white guy died, so got to call that murder, and then we, at the same time, like right on the heels of this, we end up having Cohen Wiley, like a 1-year-old baby that ends up getting shot. And once again, we're back to, well, did the car move forward? Did the car move back? We're all into all that nuanced stuff instead of dealing with the system. What people are mad about is the difference between what the system says and what the actual system produces. And when you go to the sentencing commission, you can see clearly that black men are receiving longer sentences in aggregate. It's a real thing. And then we're stuck here defending white zaddy's system instead of dealing with reality. And I'll leave it there.
All right. Appreciate you for leaving it there. Appreciate you for leaving it. You said a whole lot. Now I'm going to say shout out to Urban Reed. He said, remember that Rittenhouse killed his own. But I'm going to say also remember Rittenhouse killed what's considered nigger lovers. So that was okay. He killed some what people perceive as nigger lovers. So, you got to take that in consideration too. They did happen to be white, but those were white nigger lovers. So they ain't going to lock down 17-year-old for that.
I normally have a great affection for Spider Truth.
No, go ahead, because I got two more people. Go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna get into it, but I just want to say this real quick. I normally have great affection for Inspired Truth, but for some reason, he done inspired himself to come up here and be one of these Sahara Lions today. So I'm gonna be getting on your ass today. I seem to be the only voice of reason up here, sir. There will be chairs thrown, and we're gonna fight today.
Reset
Go
my
on.
timer.
Go on. We're going to get to it.
Before we do all that, we're going to give it up to No Placeholder so he can get his in. And we got Can't Correct Niggas here, too. So, No Placeholder, you got the flow, my brother.
Could you read my subtitle as well, to Roger?
Oh, absolutely, my brother. No disrespect intended. This is No Placeholder. Coon number 2, y'all. Coon number 2. Just so y'all know what time it is. Okay? So misconceptions here. No misconceptions. You got it, my brother.
What's going on, Roger? What's going on, panel? What's going on, chat? Yeah, so Roger, I'm in vehement disagreement with you. I watched that video and it did change my disposition. You know what I'm saying? So after watching that video, from seeing him come up the stairs and basically going to that location where everybody else was already sitting and everyone else was already established, I can't make an argument of imminent danger, Roger. You know what I'm saying? I can't make that argument. He was not in imminent danger. Just like he came into an environment where all those people are sitting, he could have left. You know what I'm saying? There is I'm saying it clearly wasn't raining hard enough for him to walk up the bleachers, I'm saying, and walk over to where they are under the tent. And he was, you know what I'm saying? So if you got into a situation where the people in the tent did not want you there, the same way you walk to that tent, the same way you can walk away from that tent. You know what I'm saying? So that's my approach towards the situation. Yeah, and yes, I did watch also the body cam, or the police dash cam, or what do you want, the body cam, you're gonna call it. I felt sorry for him when I watched that video. You know what I'm saying? I can see my son in him, and he realized he made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I don't want to encourage this kind of disposition, Roger, of like being blind rage. Blind rage is not good. You know what I'm saying? And the second point I want to make is that I hear what you and the third point I want to make is that you and Inspired Truth are talking about the injustice in the system. But I'm saying I don't know. It's like I've never expected Master to basically be a fair person. So this continued indictment of like, oh look, they're not being fair. It's like I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like why you keep pointing at the obvious?
I'm gonna have to say hold on to that because y'all don't really know where I'm going. I ain't said enough to really give y'all my position yet.
I'll land there, Roger.
You ain't cut off his spine truth while he was giving his soliloquy
No,
of
no,
the
no,
whole
no, no,
book of
no, no, no,
Proverbs.
no, no. No placeholder specifically said me. He said my name and what I was saying. I'm just pointing out the fact that I intentionally did not give enough information for anyone to see what my position is, because I
See,
intentionally did that.
you
Okay,
know
that's
what I'm
all I'm
talking
saying.
about. Negroes don't like to follow rules, and then they start crying when it's consequences. You see what he won't even follow his own rules. I see why he's full this foolishness. I
Yeah,
understand.
GBR
I
got you,
understand.
man. Yeah. Go ahead,
I
GBR.
understand.
You couldn't. Yeah, yeah. You GBR got, but yeah, but Roger. That's what I'm trying to say. Expecting justice and fairness from these people is like, I don't know how to put it to you. I'm saying 400 years later on, it's at this point right now, he's kind of like, I'm saying, chalk it up to history. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
No,
I'll land there, Roger.
Amen.
I get you. I
Amen.
get you. And I do want to
Amen.
remind folks there's also a rule about no false narrative. So, yeah, I am not allowing a false narrative about what my position is, because I really ain't gave it. And I intentionally didn't get it. That's so while DB, I think I'm breaking the rules. If he actually paid attention to the rules, he know I wasn't. But it was a nice try. It was a nice try. I'm going to give you credit. My favorite hater is in the building. All right. Now, can't correct niggas. You got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
On today's episode of Niggas Can't Do Nothing Wrong, hosted by Roger Report Live. How y'all fellas out here doing? I hope y'all doing well. This episode will be hosted by Shark Sims, aka Niggas Can't Do Nothing Wrong. This inspired truth. I hope he's still on the joint. This channel is called the Roger Report Live, and Roger makes the rules. Roger grants some people privileges that the rest of us don't get. Roger can cut you off when he want to cut you off. Roger can tell you to shut the hell up. I'm talking when he want to do that. Nigga, you in America. You don't set the rules here. Roger could bend the rules when he want. This is Roger's channel. I don't know when y'all niggas gonna stop thinking like men who've been raised by only women, but this is ridiculous. Now to the Karmelo shit. He gets out of the tunnel. He walks by 2 tents. Goes sits over there. I'm trying to think, were them tents occupied by black people? And did he go to the easier place? Who knows? We never know until we get him to do an interview and talk. He literally just messed his life up, man. He could have easily avoided that by having conflict resolution. Great Black Reset said we need to teach these children conflict resolution. But how can we teach these children conflict resolution when the adults don't know it? The adults don't even know what rules are. The adults don't even know who's supposed to set rules and who has the ability to set the rules. I love my black people. I'm always going to love my black people. But we got a lot of work to do. And y'all niggas get on my goddamn nerve. My goddamn nerve. So I'll be cool
Amen.
number 3. I'll be cool number 3 today.
Amen.
Well,
All
I'm gonna
right, cool.
say,
Who's acting like a woman though?
I'm gonna say, well
Not you
said.
acting like a woman, you thinking like a woman. You don't set the
I'm
rules and you don't set the rules in the place you don't run.
I didn't set any rules or say that I set any rules.
No,
What are you
no,
talking
so
about?
no, you was asking about, well, why Kyle Rittenhouse didn't get this? Why this guy didn't get this? Why this guy didn't get this? Because nigga, we don't set the rules. Like I said,
Amen.
Roger could say that you could. Roger could give you privilege whenever he wants, and he could let you cut off hot sauce and black Uber whenever he wants. Even though he gave hot sauce and black Uber privilege to talk whenever they want. It's Roger Channel.
And I'm gonna
Slavery
have
was the
to.
rule.
I'm gonna have
You
to.
don't have
I'm
to
gonna have
agree
to.
to it.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna have to second what he said, because Lord knows in the past. See, the people who've been here long enough, y'all have heard Roger say Roger gonna play favoritism from time to time. So I ain't gonna even front. See, that's the thing about me. I ain't gonna even front with you. I'm gonna play favoritism from time to time. Why do I say that? Because I know I'm human. And at the end of the day, I'm going to do something human. and somebody may see something as favoritism, and even I may not even see it as favoritism. I'm already putting a nip in the bud, just say, hey, I'm gonna play favoritism from time to time, just so we don't even start that argument. So it is what it is. But now I'm gonna say, well, actually, I'm gonna hold off because we got another guest that then came up, and I'm gonna really get into some stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and let him get his piece off first. So, Mr. Me Too just came up. Mr. Me Too, you got the floor.
Morning, fellas. Morning. Yeah, I'm gonna be quick. Y'all know I'm the op, so I'm gonna definitely say that first. That video is suspect. I never seen standard surveillance camera just was able to pan and follow a particular person the way it did Karmelo Anthony. Number two, all of that stuff, even that previous back and forth about the system versus Black people accountability, all of that stuff is intentional. It's intentionally implanted into us just to be going back and forth, wasting time. Inspire is right. Well, both of y'all are really right. We do got work as Black people to do, but we can't, and you're right, we can't make rules and
Did we lose you, Mr. Mason? Or you done?
I can't hear.
That's God. That's God right there. You know what I'm saying?
We lost you for about 5 seconds, brother. You want to repeat the last 5 to 7 seconds of what you said?
I was just saying that it's important that we identify those systems that Inspired is talking about, and just really try to focus on that for a sustained amount of time and come up with solutions dealing with that, like serious sound solutions. And I'm in right there.
All right. Now Champ has come up, so he gonna get the mic right away too. Champ, what's good, my brother? Glad to see you here.
Thank you. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, brother.
Folks, Marlon Anthony, it looked like he was being jumped. Okay? That's what I see from that film. I see a guy who went up there, he set up in that tent because it was raining. He wasn't trying to start anything at all. Okay? Yeah, I know they're telling him to move like 15 times, but like, what is he doing? I mean, is he causing any problems? Is he starting some stuff and everything else? No. He went down there because it was raining and everything else. And according to reports, the so-called friend who became a Judas told him that he could sit there and everything else. Just mind his own business. And you got these two big burly hillbilly guys who combined weigh 400 pounds. He's starting something with Karmelo Anthony and everything else. He shouldn't be told to move and everything else. And he had to do what he had to do. Come on. What I see right now is a guy who was just being pushed around and everything else. And these guys were acting like this was 1955 in the South. I mean, I hope this whole thing, with his new lawyers and everything else, that they get a retrial on this. Because Karmelo Anthony, he doesn't deserve to spend 35 years in prison for that. So I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Hey, Roger, quick question. Well, first of all, I want to say no disrespect to Inspired Truth. I apologize if I did offend you. And my second question is, how many videos did you put in the description? Because I don't know what video the Champ was watching.
That's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Hey, calm down. Calm down the coonery. Champ, thank you for your opening statement, man. It's beautiful. I agree with everything you said.
Cause
You're
I ain't
welcome.
see no
You're welcome.
altercation going on. I don't know. Maybe
Hey,
I gotta watch it
he
again.
saw what he saw. I
Yeah.
think he just saw what he saw, which
Yeah.
has a whole lot to do with what this show is going to be about today. He saw what he
Mhm.
saw. Okay, he saw what he
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
All right. I'll probably get a little more into that, but Tunnel Runner then came up, so I'm trying to be cool and let Tunnel Runner get it in first. Tunnel Runner, you got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Um, as a big black man, as a big black child, male child, I was always told that I can't spread my wings out too much. People don't like when a big black boy is acting angrily. I had to always hold myself together because they will kill you as a big black man or as a big black boy because I was bigger than all the kids. And so I always had to know that I had to hold my temper. And I knew that a lot of black people, even if I was in the right, I would still be considered because I'm big and black and I'm strong and I'm supposed to be able to take everything. So I always had to hold back some of my fire because I'll get killed if I don't if I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, being who I really am. And I'll leave it like that.
Okay. Well, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Now, y'all, I'm going to get into what this is about, y'all. Notice the title is Conviction versus Convictions. This ain't rather, this ain't going to be about whether he should have been convicted or not. That's already been solved, y'all. He's been convicted. The thing is why was he convicted? And that's simply because of people's convictions. Now, I said myself, I got to ride with the young man until we get some video footage to tell me something different at the end of the day. A lot of people had already convicted Carmelo Anthony in their minds before the jury even finished. That was a very clear thing over the internet. Everybody kind of quote unquote took their sides, but a lot of folks had already convicted him mentally without the footage. So this ain't about whether he actually did anything wrong or not. Well, I mean, it is a little bit. We can't say it ain't none about whether he did something right or wrong. The thing is, Carmelo killed somebody. The only issue is, are you gonna give him a pass for killing the person that he killed? Now, the thing is, fathers can do a good job, but no father is perfect. People gonna fail at different things, and kids don't accept certain lessons until after a certain period of time of getting the lesson. Unfortunately for both of these fathers, their children didn't accept very important lessons. Metcalf didn't get didn't get his son to the point of not touching people, and it cost him his son's life. Melo didn't get to the ideal of don't talk to the police, which probably, I mean, if we want to be real about it, that cost him the 35-year sentence. Now, how much time he gonna actually serve? We'll have to wait on time to see what that is. But I'm gonna say real talk, that probably cost. Now, I'm gonna say there's a lot of things that went around that made me see he was gonna be made an example of anyway. But the fact that he was talking after the deed was done clearly did not help him out. At the end of the day, he should have shut up. So both of these people did learn two extremely important lessons that people will look at and say these lessons ain't that big. It's not that big to teach your son not to touch somebody. Well, you got a dead white boy over it. Oh, it's not that big a deal to teach your son not to talk to the police. Well, you got a 35-year conviction over it.
I think it's
Both
3
of
lessons though.
them didn't get some very important lessons. And this can happen to
Okay.
any of us.
Okay.
So kind
Wait
of
a minute.
kind of dealing with that whole conviction versus convictions thing. I think that kind of lends a little bit to the separation between like the different types of laws. Like you can have like written law, you can have the common law that some judge just kind of arbitrarily decides based off of his own opinions, and then you have like the natural law, like the law between like people or God-given laws in your right as an existence as a sentient being, right? So like we have like the way that we commonly communicate and the way that we commonly interact with each other, and that becomes like our norms. And a lot of what we're looking at right here in terms of like our convictions is what norms are going to accept, like regardless of whatever the written law says. Like if a written law says that, hey, we're going with injustice and we're going with you being mistreated, and you say F that, I'm going with natural law, then now that changes when more people stand up and say, nah, this is the new norm.
Well, I'm gonna say the reason I truly believe Karmelo Anthony was convicted is people already have their conviction. Illegally, he may have been able to get some room where he could somewhat have gotten away with it. I'll say it like that. He could have, because he's a convicted murderer at this point, and I'm not trying to get him off. He's a convicted murderer. It is what it is. This is how the game goes. Now, if you find yourself in that position, you ain't supposed to be talking to the police saying anything at the end of the day. I can forgive him because he's a 17-year-old kid. So it's easy for me to say I forgive him for being that dumb in that situation. And he's 17. And I don't really measure people about what they do in childhood. I measure you about what you do in adulthood. Okay? If you make it to adulthood. Now, Austin, I got to measure him through his childhood because he never made it to adulthood. He just shouldn't have put his hands on Karmelo. And my thing is to lose your life just because you simply push somebody. Yeah, that's a big deal, but that's the game.
Wait,
you know,
Roger, can I say something?
Speaking of talking to the police, why I found it interesting that so many police and the response time to that incident was almost immediate.
Well, that's because
And
police are
for
around
it to be
That's because he was posted. He was posted at the event as the truancy officer. There was no response
say that
time. He
again.
was
Hold
already
on.
there.
Say that again.
He's a truancy officer. They have officers posted at the schools at all times. He was already there.
I seen marked police seem like city or county police right there by the time they walked that kid to the end of the I seen the fire. I seen a first response team.
But hold on. Are we presenting that it's problematic that police have a quick response time? Because
no,
these are
I'm
the
not
excuses
presenting
we
that.
make
That's
for wrongdoing. We're trying to cover up. This is what we do as black men.
Can
When
I
we get
tell
caught,
what I'm trying to present before you go that direction?
Yeah, because the man stands
to
go.
Well, my thing is, and I'm gonna say, we not gonna concern ourselves with what the vast majority of people are doing. We done covered the case. We done gave our opinion. We gonna deal with the information as us ourselves. What people are doing overall, I can't change all that. All I can do is do what's supposed to be done. And what I'm saying is, yeah, I saw the video. Now we know what happened. So now you can, if you want to change your mind about what happened or what you think the right thing is, see, now is the time to say, hey, now that I saw this, I think I need to move in this direction, or I think I need to stay in the same direction. Because at the end of the day, I'm disappointed in every black person that convicted this man without the video. Not saying the video don't justify certain stuff. My thing is, you ain't seen.
We're
Wait,
in this
GPR,
state
the
of.
man was talking though, like he didn't say exactly what he meant.
Go ahead. I've been trying to talk for 10 minutes, but go ahead.
Hey, go ahead. I'm about to get busy anyway, so go ahead.
Niggas don't want to hear the truth, man, and they don't want to accept the truth. We hide behind the white man when we want to play victimhood and play the race card. That's what we do. Is we want to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouses of the world as if it's going to make a difference. We're 6% of the population. They're not going to make rules to benefit 6% of the population. We need to admit to ourselves we're in a white-dominated society, and they're going to make rules for them. The rules are not going to be fair for us, and if we're looking for fairness, we're looking for the wrong thing.
I don't think we're really looking for fairness. I think we're looking for what the actual system
Yes, we
really
are.
is.
Yes,
And
we
saying,
are.
hey,
We're
now that we
all
know and expose what it is, then what do we do? What happens next and what do we do about it?
stay out of trouble.
Well,
Stay out of trouble. Stop.
Hey, see, y'all ain't hearing reset. Y'all ain't hearing reset. Let me translate, okay? What reset is telling all of us to do is be good niggas for massa, and we'll be all right.
Y'all,
No. See,
y'all,
Brock.
Be,
See, Brock.
be
No,
good
he's not.
niggas
He's
for
just telling
massa.
you. He's just telling you to respond to your environment, Bronx. Stop being a scout.
y'all
He's telling you to
niggas,
respond to your environment.
Be good nigga
Wait,
for
see,
massa.
Brock. The
Respond to your
problem is,
environment.
Brock. The
That's what he's
problem
y'all
is,
saying.
niggas don't want to hear
the
the truth.
problem is, y'all don't like, yo, in Chicago, Juneteenth, they had 8 niggas killed, 30 wounded.
It was
Y'all ain't
it
talking
was a
about that because
Latino person that shot those black folks in
hold on.
Chicago
It
too.
don't matter, but y'all ain't talking about it because it ain't a white person that did it.
It was a Latino person. They're
I ain't
sometimes
seen the
adjacent to
person.
white
I
supremacists
ain't seen a
too.
person do it. Talk about it yet. And we got
Well,
people
we
who
are.
we got
Well,
people.
you know.
We got hold on, Brock. We got people who literally live in Chicago. They should be going crazy over this. And and those were kids that died under 14 years old.
I don't
The
even
end
know
of the
about it yet.
This is
see
kind of a
And
like I
distraction
said.
and a
I
diversion,
live in
So the
actually.
end of
Chicago,
the
and I
so
don't
at the
even
end
know
of the
about it.
This is a
so at the
deflection.
end of the day,
It
at the
really
end of the
is.
day, that boy and to what Roger was saying,
Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't a
that
deflection.
boy
No,
right there,
once.
he knew not to talk to the police. Every rap song he listened to tell him, "Don't talk to the police." Fuck 12.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, when you are a father, you are responsible for what your kid's doing. He lived with his father, so regardless, that's his daddy fault.
Roger,
So
every
who's
father ain't a
responsible?
every man that has a child ain't a father.
He lived with his
So
daddy.
why
He
come?
lived with his
No,
daddy, and we
hold
can't even
on,
play
hold
that
How
on.
clip.
come?
He
And
lived
Roger,
with him.
they have disobedient children. I can teach my son to do something, and he can basically not do it. That does not
Yes.
mean I'm not a good father, Roger. You gotta fall back on that, man. You gotta stop
Hold on,
blaming his dad.
hold on, hold
I'm
on.
saying, hold on,
No,
Roger, hold on.
no.
His
I,
father brought me to a predominantly white, nice upscale, really nice place to live, really nice place to go to school, a great opportunity to get yourself a nice little woman and move on and live your life. And you decide to knife somebody in the fucking chest. What's wrong with you?
see, and this is what I'm saying about people's convictions. I didn't say whether these were bad fathers or good fathers. I said it's their fault their kids did what they did because their children are still 17 and down.
It ain't their fault.
No. When you are 17 and down, everything you do is your parents' fault. You live with them, that's their fault. And see, we got to accept life does some things that you can see is fair or not fair, but they still real. When your child does something, it's your fault.
So now we
So it's
obeying rules now.
No, no, bro.
so
I've been saying this for years, way before today. I didn't say it is what it is. If the child is 17 and down, and you're the person raising the child, it's automatically your fault, no matter what they do.
no,
And
and I
at the
agree.
end of
I
the day,
agree with
as
you.
a parent, I'm supposed to accept responsibility for what my child did and do the best I can to fix it in any way possible.
No, I agree with you, and I can say with the honesty of my heart, you've been saying that for the longest. Like you're not just changing up and saying that. You've been saying that. But this is what I'm saying. We like to cherry pick things that we want to abide by, and everything else that we don't want to abide by. We are the white supremacists that we are complaining about.
No, we're not. No,
That
I
and
I
you,
mean,
appreciate
Roger's
that,
that's
right.
Sharp.
great.
Where's
Roger,
your
I
evidence?
think
Like,
that
If
where
that's the
is
case,
the
just
then
living
I
then
in
evidence?
America
go
appreciate
back
that,
long
to
enough,
Sharp.
you
segregation.
become a
Then
white supremacist, and then showing that we have become white supremacists.
how
Because
are we?
we're thinking just like white supremacists.
Well,
We're being
how? That's not. I mean, that's not
because
white supremacists. I
we're
mean,
being hateful. We're being hateful like
we're
white
doing we're
supremacists.
doing we're doing the same thing that they do. Just like
no.
with Emmett Till. Just like with Emmett Till, the lie was carried on in white America to do what they did to him. Just like with all the other black men that were lynched and murdered, they would lie to make it feel good. And what we're doing here is we're lying to make it feel good. We will sit up here and say, "Well, it's okay that Carmelo killed him because he's a white guy."
No, I'm not
Who,
saying that
no,
it's
no,
okay,
no,
but
no, 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 no. Roger has said this time and time again, and then some of us will agree with it.
What I
Well,
say
what?
time and time again?
come on,
No,
guys, he was being
no,
attacked
no,
in that
no, no.
tent.
What
Who
I said,
people were
what
being
I've said
attacked
time and
to?
time again, I'm glad that if somebody had to die, it was the white guy. Now,
Right.
Yeah.
and
So
no,
now,
no, hold fast.
That's fair.
There's
That's fair.
literally, there's literally nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with me
okay,
saying if a
okay.
bad situation happens, somebody die, I don't want it to be the
So
black guy. It's literally
Yeah.
about
Roger,
woke.
Roger, there's 150 million white people in this country, Roger. Do you think that if they say that, okay, we have no problem with basically white people suffering, isn't that the same thing, Roger?
No, I didn't know. It's not the same thing. I'm not promoting
Wait a minute, hold
anybody
on.
that has this
So
suffering.
Yes, it
basically,
is.
so you're, yes, it is. They have
No,
no
it's
problem with
not.
you suffering, Roger. Just
The
like you
only,
have no
the
problem with
only,
white people dying.
the only thing I'm saying, if somebody got to die, I prefer not to be one of mine. That's all I'm saying.
And if
And they
somebody
say the
got to
same
live
thing,
in
Roger. If
ghetto,
somebody
you
has to
prefer
suffer, I prefer it's not a white person, Roger. That's what they're saying. If somebody got to suffer in
Well,
America, I prefer it's not a white person.
Brother,
That's what they're saying.
if somebody got to die, and I can choose is some dude I've never met, or it's my brother, I'm gonna pick the dude that I ain't never met.
So
Carmelo Anthony's
It
not
is
your
what it
brother, man.
is.
You just, Roger, you're running away from
if
the point.
somebody
Because what I'm
prefers,
saying to you is that if you legitimize
That's
that kind of thinking,
that's the point
Roger,
I
if that
made.
kind of thinking legitimizes their thinking too, Roger. You're legitimizing their thinking.
No,
because if they
I'm not,
thinking
because
somebody got to
that's
be
two
broke,
totally different
and
things.
we're
That's two
and
totally
we're not
different things.
lynching
see,
white people.
Roger.
Nobody's lynching
What,
white people. I don't know why anybody ever
what,
made that analogy.
hold fast.
That's not the
My
analogy we're
point,
making.
my point ain't
Yeah,
got
listen,
nothing.
y'all
My point
listen.
has
Yo,
nothing to do
Whenever
with
I
you down
color.
to like the worst,
No, no,
bro.
no.
Who's talking about lynching?
My point got nothing to do
Like,
with
stay in the
color.
topic. Inspired. I expect better from you, man. You're an educated man.
All right, look.
I
My
was the
whenever
one
point,
that said it.
y'all, my
GBR
point
whenever
said
I
has
it.
got something
nothing to do with color. If I have to watch the news and people die that I've never met, I definitely prefer them than people I actually know. That ain't got nothing to do with color. That's got something to do
you
with
don't know
reality.
Carmelo Anthony.
You
You
know?
don't know Carmelo
You
Anthony.
know, you ain't never met Karmelo Anthony a day in
I'm
your
looking at
life.
the black guys. Listen,
And he
I'm looking
ain't
at
dead. He not dead. But somebody on the news every night, I don't know if y'all noticed, somebody dead on some news program every single night. And every time it's somebody I don't know, I'm glad it's a person I don't know versus somebody I do know.
And you
right
don't know
Oh,
neither.
Nameless
guys.
came up. Hey,
That
Look,
has
Nameless
nothing
came
to
up.
do
I'm
with color.
looking. Look, I'm back to the subject.
Tap
I'm
dance
looking
too.
at Carmelo Anthony minding his own business, going to the tent, just sitting there trying to avoid not being wet and everything. And two guys sit up there, jump on him, and
How do you know he was minding his own business, Champ?
All right.
How do you know he was minding his
Because he
own
was
business?
in there for
he was
minutes.
How
supposed
do
He
to
you
was
be
know
in there
that,
for
Champ?
invited by
several
a
hours.
You're
friend.
feeling this stuff, bro.
He was invited.
Everybody
He was
stop.
invited by.
Dude, you don't know that,
Everybody
man. You're just
stop.
making
Yes,
assumptions,
he
bro.
was.
Champ,
No, I'm
you
not.
had two
He was
champions
invited
in
by
Everybody
wrestling.
someone
stop.
to go
Y'all,
over there.
y'all chill. Take a time out. This shouldn't be that difficult, man. This is not the first time we've covered this story at all. This should not
Roger,
even be that difficult. It really should not
Roger,
be.
Roger.
Okay?
According,
No. Hold fast. Because the name of protagonist came up, and I'm giving it to him so everybody can take a time to listen and chill out. We can have a conversation, but we're going to have it the regular way, y'all. Respectable. People got to be heard. We're going to chill for a second. And since Nameless just came up, and he ain't a part of y'all madness or your nonsense or your foolery, however you going to say it, he going to get the flow, and everybody going to get a chance to chill and come back, and we're going to do this in a respectful way. The name is Protagonist. Glad to see you here, my brother. You got the flow.
To the chat and the instructors on the panel. Os.
Oh.
So, what I want to do, I appreciate you, champ. What I want to do is remind us all that at the core, what we're dealing with are the intricate modalities of in-group, out-group. That's literally all we're talking about. I think we need to take a moment, take a step back, and ask ourselves where the direction of power sits, who holds the jurisdiction of law, and understanding the actual information we're reviewing. Hey, Tunnel Runner, can you mute yourself real quick? Tunnel Runner.
I got it.
Somebody needs to be muted.
Yeah, because they got an open mic. You got it, Roger?
Yeah.
Or is that
that was him doing something else. That's somebody else. Everybody mute up, man.
No, go take a look at you lying. Why you lying? He said, why you lying? There we go. Why the fuck you lying? So I want to remind people of what we're reviewing right now is related to the available evidence that's been presented there. So this outcome really didn't have anything to do with what happened. It had to do with what was allowed to be reviewed and based off the evidence that was there at the time, what the jury could relate or correlate to the charges that were being brought up on them. I'm going to juxtapose something to you. Is there anyone here who has seen what happened 10 minutes prior to that, which corroborates with what a lot of the witnesses were saying, that he had been there for a long time prior to the stabbing? You don't have to answer that now, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Having seen that there was essentially nobody that was standing outside of a tent unless they were in motion somewhere else or part of the staff and had to be out, everybody was under a tent. So if you can understand that we're operating on limited information, even when we're getting the video, the Fox News video that came out didn't show the full thing. There was much more to that clip. That's just what Fox released. What's important to understand is he's from a position of having sat there for a long time. You can see the 6 people, wasn't 2, 6 people that showed up into that tent, surround him. And quite frankly, what appears to happen is that he gets pushed into Metcalf. And I want you to understand something. If you're facing somebody and you're right-handed like most people are, remember Metcalf was stabbed in the heart. And it was so hard that there was bone evidence left on there. And I don't know too many people who train in harness or any knife fighting or sword fighting, but it's not very easy to pierce the rib cage. Sure, it is in theory. You've got weapons that are designed to do that, but we can't rule out that he was pushed into him. It would have lined up perfectly with what we see happening. We see him hauling ass, running out the tent to distance himself. And the language that we hear him use is language we hear every day in the house. I'm bringing this up not to say either or that he did or did not do. What I'm saying is we only have a snapshot of information, and based on the snapshot of information, a set of charges. And people have to make a decision off the information that's presented. And of course, what's going to happen 9 times out of 10 is people are going to fall in accordance to the social dominance modality. So yeah, you can say, okay, well, whoever has the cultural right of way, you can perceive his statement of touch me and see what happens as a domain expansion. Or you can see that as a action that's being done in lieu of a physical action. I don't think we have enough data still to conclusively say one thing or another. That is not anybody's fault with the system per se, but when you leave things to gravity, this is how the gravity falls out. And it's frustrating because there are, like somebody mentioned earlier, a myriad of other instances of Black folks dying, but that didn't make the algorithm. This did. And I'm gonna tell you this: I live less than 10 minutes away from where this happened. I drive past this regularly to go to work. When I tell you that this demographic here, this is not the norm, this is unusual, but there's a decided disconnect between the people who are in charge of the county and local state jurisdictions, the school boards, the people who direct VDOT, I'm sorry, I guess it's DDOT for Dallas, the different entities. They're on different types of time and they have different perspectives. There's a great systemic issue here that has been known since we saw the brother that got shot chilling in his own apartment. That happened 15 minutes away from where this occurred in DFW, right down 35 West. I mean, this area has things like this that happen so regularly, it's not even funny. All we're having an argument over, all that's ever being presented is this curated snapshot of evidence, and it's allowing people to let their perspective of it go down current. We don't have all the info still. So before people start potentially burning bridges or making assumptions that this is a in-group preference attempt to push back against the dominant society or any sort of lack of accountability speech, just understand there are other mechanisms around this making this conversation very convenient to get on some dichotomy, divisive type nonsense. when we don't have all the information even now. That's all I wanted to tie this back to.
That's it. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And I'm gonna remind folks, y'all.
Thank you, man.
And I may add it to the rest of the rules just so I read them off on a regular basis. I'm gonna remind people it is a requirement that when Nameless comes up here and says the oath, that you will respond and say oath back. Okay, that is a requirement at this time. Okay, you will unmute, say oath, and then mute back up. Okay.
Wait, but Roger, you don't say oos. Why we gotta say oos?
No, I said I do say it.
I'm just messing with you.
But I was just gonna say, and if I didn't say it, it's a rule for you. It ain't my rule, it's your rule.
This is a Roger America.
Exactly. Now, and I'm gonna say this, y'all, because really this case is really just showing how people are in America and what side of the fence you really on. Like, I'm gonna say it again: the people who had already convicted him without evidence, that already said something about you. You hadn't seen the evidence, but you were so ready for him to be convicted. Whether whether the evidence would show you either side of it. If you had already convicted him without seeing the evidence, you already told on yourself. And I don't care whether he was black or white. You told on yourself already. Now, I said plain and clearly, until I see the video, I'm riding with the young brother. He made an assessment. He did what he thought he needed to do. And I don't have no reason to be against him at this particular point. Because he was a good kid. He did good grades. He was a responsible young man. He had saved some woman's child life already. The dude is already a hero. I ain't got no reason to second guess this young black 17-year-old. I had no reason to second guess him. And I did say, granted, he's a 17-year-old. He may have made a poor decision. We do that when we're 17. And the only thing I'm saying today is both of these guys made very poor decisions. And they both just got two different outcomes. One got prison time, the other one got death. But at the end of the day, it was just two 17-year-olds that made a poor decision. That's all it is at the end of the day. But the adults want to make it more than that because we hate niggas. And that's just the motto of America. We hate niggas. And if we got this nigga caught up, let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's tar and feather this nigga. And that's all it is to it. These are just two kids that had an ego problem. That's all this really is. But look how big the story is.
I like to make an uninterrupted statement.
You know what? I'm going to let you have an uninterrupted open statement. I'm going to protect you. You know what I'm saying? Since you're my favorite hater, I'm going to protect you right now, y'all. We're going to let this man get it out.
I appreciate that. First of all, I'd like to say that's a goddamn lie. Bro, I have children. I don't want my children going to school with any children that are carrying weapons. And we're purposely skipping over that because we don't want to say that that's the wrong thing to do and that's an incorrect judgment before anything even occurs. That's already presenting a public problem that's waiting to happen. You know, and then this thing about Karmelo got jumped, that's a goddamn lie. He very clearly stated to the police without being asked anything, he hit me. He didn't say I got jumped. He didn't say they hit me. He didn't say somebody pushed me from behind and it was an accident. We gotta stop. He made a poor judgment. Yeah, he's a kid, he's a child, and he's got poor judgment as a child. But we cannot, as a people, defend foolishness to try to make it look good, especially on the airways. It makes us no better than white people that defend foolishness to kill us.
But imagine the whole.
Hey, hold on.
Let him finish. I said I was going to let him finish. And he started off lying, but I'm letting him finish.
If it's okay for us to say publicly that it's okay for this white kid to have lost his life under these circumstances, imagine if the 150 million white men do the same thing and say, well, it's okay if niggas lose their life. This is dangerous. It's a dangerous precedent to be setting. And we should not be hiding behind the misdeeds of other white men and other circumstances just because we want to be perpetual victims. We got to stop, man. And I'll land my plane there.
All right, now I'm gonna insert myself real quick, y'all. Hold fast. And Jado done came up, so I'm gonna get him in. Now I'm gonna say I hear him, but I ain't heard one person up here say anything about Karmelo should have had a knife. That's why I say he started off lying. Okay, nobody said
We're
that.
skipping it. I
No,
said we're skipping it.
no, bro. We got an hour and a half show left. But at the end of the
Okay,
day,
you're right. You're right.
At the end of the day, that you can't even see that knife in with the video of the event. You can't even see that happen. You really can't. At the end of the day, and that's so people just did whatever they were already convicted on. This was really not about the quote unquote evidence as far as these videos are concerned. It's about where people stood on their conviction. Because this is about whether Karmelo can display self-defense or not. That's all this really was. The
Wait, say that
witnesses
again,
made their
Roger.
statement. This was really about, can you see Karmelo as a person doing self-defense? That's what this is about. Did you see him as a person who could defend himself? And the jury, the people that matter at the time, just couldn't see it. It is what it is. This ain't even really about what happened. You got to be able to see him defending himself to get any other outcome. And they just didn't see it as him defending himself.
Roger, my this is a serious issue that I mean, it seems like black folks don't have the right to defend themselves at all.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
Okay, because look,
Nobody said that.
after effects of this incident, just a week ago, 6 white boys and a girl jumped a black guy.
Turn around. I'm gonna stop you there. I don't know about all these incidents, and my thing is, I don't like to open up discussion of all these different angles and stories because I have to know legitimate information about every single thing that's brought up.
Okay, my thing is this. Okay, and this is what this is what I'm hearing from other people, because some of these people didn't get the chance to testify on behalf of Carmelo Anthony. He was sitting there. It was raining that day and everything else, minding his own business and everything else. I mean, just because it was on a rival's tent and everything, it doesn't mean that you can tell me he shouldn't leave and that he should be kicked out and everything else because it's downpouring and everything else. He's not causing any problems and everything else. And the two guys, Austin Metcalf and his brother Hunter, came up there acting like big hillbilly bullies and everything else and told him to leave and everything else. He shouldn't be told to leave and everything else underneath the tent because of the weather and everything else.
Champ, let me correct.
And somebody pushes him and everything else. What is he supposed to do?
Champ,
He's a 5'9", 130-pound kid.
But Champ, like Nameless was saying, you don't even have audio to know he wasn't causing a problem. Second of all, he walked past 2 tents. Like we just like negating a lot. If they was jumping him when he tried to run, there would have been people chasing behind him. No,
everybody hold fast. Actually, I'm going to give it to Jado, and I was going to do it a little bit quick, but I was putting that message in the private chat. Now, you ain't did nothing wrong, but y'all see that message in the private chat. If you haven't seen it, look at it now. Jado.
Roger, can I correct something that was said a second ago because I wasn't on the panel to do it?
Sure. But after you, actually, it's spin class. Okay. All right. So, name is go ahead. Cool? Spin class would be after you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I want to make something correct because there's a misunderstanding about Texas law. If you have a knife that is 5.5 inches or greater, that becomes what the issue is as far as it being classified as a weapon. If you have a blade that is under 5.5 inches, irregardless of where you go in the state of Texas, it's permitted anywhere, including school grounds. The knife that Karmelo used, and I don't know if you've seen it before, but it is a tool you use to cut wire. It's used in fishing all the time. It is a lock blade, but it is less than 3.5 inches. You can sit down all day and pretend as though that equates to a firearm, which is what I see people making these intuitive leaps to. Stop it. Read the law. Read the law. Please don't turn this into what it doesn't have to be. He was perfectly within his right to have what he had on him. And people were using those to put those things up and put those little tents down. Happens all the time. Anybody bringing up a scenario like he may have been pushed, nobody can say definitively it did happen or that it didn't. And because they can't go either way, making decisions off of what people should and shouldn't do, how they should and shouldn't perceive this, is an exercise in missing the point. This is what I'm trying to highlight here. People need to see the whole macro scenario. There are more moving parts to this. This situation is happening somewhere right now in America as we speak, and we will never hear about it. This is not something unusual. And it's really making me wonder how successful the Frankfurt School has been for us to see this common scenario and somehow go so far off the deep end just because the algorithm wanted to pick it up and run with it. And I'm willing to bet, judging from the history of Frisco County, because they had to do it in Tarrant, because it should have been in Denton. Looking at the history of this probably would have went right under the rug, and nobody would have been any the wiser unless certain outlets picked this case up and ran with it, and it became wildfire because people were looking to turn this into something it wasn't. You had that white lady that got stabbed on the train by that immigrant dude. You got all these other scenarios that this is happening all over the damn country somewhere, but it's only certain ones that make it to the algorithm and become viral. I can't say that that's not some type of engineering going on. And I don't want us to keep falling for the okie doke, missing the bigger picture. So just another reminder. That's it. You got it.
Now I'm reading this, y'all. And I'm gonna say, y'all, if I highlight something, y'all give room for the highlighted comment to get addressed. And we're gonna get spin class in after me. This is Chef Mike, y'all. Now I did see what Chef Mike actually said to highlight this. I had already highlighted, but he did actually say, read my highlighted comment is what he said. Okay. Look, and Chef Mike has a purpose here, y'all. He said everybody needs to remember the quorum on the panel. That is a warning. I do not want to hear fish market again, one at a time. So, and this is why I got Chef Mike, because I know I ain't gonna throw people off fast enough. So I want somebody who will throw people off faster than I will. That's what Chef Mike's purpose is. So I want y'all to remember that, okay? And I'm gonna say real quick, shout out to Nirvana Tyler, who says he walked past 2 tents that were full. Y'all, and this is the thing. We get caught up in information that has nothing to do with anything. Nirvana, no disrespect to you, but who cares how many people was at the other tents? The only tent that mattered was the one he was at. Okay? Whether there was other tents available or not don't mean anything to this actual situation. We get caught up, and it's so easy for us as citizens to get caught up in stuff that don't matter to a case at all. And that just don't really actually matter. It just don't. Okay? Other tents could have been available. That don't mean he welcome there. I'm a person who's had stuff available, and I don't welcome everybody. It is what it is. Sometimes you cut people off. So it doesn't make a difference. The only thing that makes a difference is what happened at the tent he was under. And I'm going to say, again, the tape don't show enough to change anybody's perception of whatever they thought before they make any statement on what happened under that tent. The only thing that mattered for the well, I ain't going to say the only thing, but Karmelo was in a lot of trouble because he talked too much at the end of the day. He did too much talking. I ain't saying that could have saved him for sure, but it definitely would have helped him in this situation. He did too much talking. He should know not to talk to the police. And Austin Metcalf should know not to put his hands on people, which makes this Jeff Metcalf's fault because Austin is in a home led by Jeff. This is literally all Jeff's fault. But spin class, you got it.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Replay gang. What's up, Roger, man? Hey, now it is a little scary for me when I hear a lot of stuff, a lot of rhetoric and just talk online, man. And us as black men, you know, as leaders, the leaders we are, man, we can't get caught up in this stuff. But I see that a lot of times we do. We actually try to bend reality, man. We actually You know, we spin it, we manipulate it to suit our needs, man. The same thing that our counterparts do a lot of time, and we point that out with them. But a lot of times we do the same thing, man. So we start bending reality. We start doing stuff, and we don't even recognize it, and we get further and further from the truth, man. So, fellas, with the videotape, yeah, of course, the video is not clear. But when we're looking at this thing as a whole, man, it's the aggregate of evidence, man. It's not just the videotape. It's the testimony. And other and amongst other things, any other physical evidence, man. We can't spin this stuff to suit our needs. Fellas, we live in this country, and it's like, do you guys really think, I hear stuff on I still hear stuff on the internet, just black people saying, man, we're constantly being hunted down and deleted or unalive, right, as black men. Do we really think that? Or are we just saying that from an emotional place? It's not true, fellas. It's not true. We're not in slavery anymore. It's not Jim Crow anymore, fellas. We can move ahead. But if you want to keep placing us, and Roz, I know you said this wasn't about race with the children, but it is about, if it's about race with the adults, it's about race with the children as well. Maybe not as important, but it is. But fellas, can we move forward and move ahead? Because these white folks ain't gonna all of a sudden feel sorry for you and start doing the things that you want them to do. They're not going to do that. It doesn't work that way. And I guess I'll end right there. Thanks for having me up.
All right,
I haven't spoken in a
hold
while,
on,
so I mean, if you don't mind,
real quick. Inspired Truth, I'm gonna let you go because your name has been up, but we got Dr. Shea Butter coming in, so he's gonna come in right after you. And y'all, I'm gonna be switching y'all out here and there if I got too many people. So don't nobody take offense. I'm gonna try to remove somebody out there every time somebody get through talking. So it's gonna be quick. Ain't nobody gonna be in the back.
I'm dropping down, Roz. I can't stay for
No, you better stay up.
I got to drop though. I'm holler at y'all, man. Peace.
Oh, brother, you gonna say what you said and then just leave, and that's how you gonna play that game? Okay.
And
Okay.
people be busy. It is a weekday.
Yeah, and I got Truth Teller that came up too. So Inspired, real quick, because your name was mentioned. So I'm gonna let you say something, and then I got to get Dr. Shea Butter in. And I got to get Truth Teller in here.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of like go back to what Nameless said. Like, there's a reason why we're allowed to see what we're allowed to see, and you could call that algorithmic power, or you can call it like perception, narrative shaping, if you like. But that thing exists, and that exists through the dominant society. Like, he also mentioned that what the jury is presented with isn't necessarily the same thing as all available evidence. Those are two different things as well. You have like 21 witnesses on the prosecution's end. You have like 5 witnesses on the defense end, and one of them is more friendly to the prosecution. And he didn't even talk to the kid until right before the bringing them up on the stand. Like, so there's a difference between like actual reality and what actually happens versus what you end up being presented with. And we don't really have algorithmic power like that. We're not able to spin anything on the same level or anywhere close to the same level because we don't have the means of controlling the media like that. And I'll let you go ahead and get to the next dude.
I have a question.
No, hold fast. We got 2 other people that ain't spoke yet. But we'll come back to you. I'm gonna say this, y'all. How about we have the conversation that needs to be had, and we stop trying to retry the case? The case has been tried. He has been convicted. Can we accept that? Okay. Now I understand the man making an appeal, but he ain't off yet. He in there. He's a convicted murderer right now. Let's let him be that for now. Let's let him be that for now. Because I'm really trying to get into some other things about how we got to this point. Okay, I'm not trying to retry his case. But Dr. Shea Butter, go right ahead. We're gonna get Truth Teller in immediately behind you.
Salute to you, good brother. Black power to the panel. Black power to the chat. And what I want to say is, well, before I say that, Roger, could you please explain to me what do you mean? Because conviction versus conviction, I might take it a different way. So if you could just,
I mean, we got a person who got a conviction, but if you look at certain things about the law, you should be able to understand why there is a conviction in place. But a lot of stuff that's being said, which was being said before we even got a conviction, this is really about adults' convictions. Our personal convictions is why we seeing this stuff the way we seeing it.
So you're trying to balance reality versus perception.
Something like that.
All right. Well, let me put it to you this way, because the last brother on there, that I don't know what that was about, because man, if I ain't no better, that was a white man talking. But that's neither here nor there. So first of all, we got a young man. Even in the video, the way he was handling him, the way he was kept checking for stuff. There was nothing in his pockets. There was nothing in his hood. Guy just kept wanting to grab his balls. Already preparing him for gay stuff. Having him sit on a cold, wet floor. Right? It's raining outside. Nigga, don't care. Put the man in the thing, and the car didn't cover his head. 17 years old, getting tried as an adult. Why do these laws exist? Because they're designed to keep you in bondage. You are only free as long as you don't commit a crime. And from my understanding, this man was self-defense. He did not commit a crime. But we ain't going to retry the case. So he's a guilty man. So basically, and for black people, we need to stop saying guilty. We need to stop saying that. What we need to say is he's a slave again, right? His lineage ran free for a couple hundred years, but we got that nigga back in slavery, because that's what it means when a black man gets arrested. You go back to slavery. That's why you can't vote. That's why you can't get a passport. That's why you can't leave. Yeah. And so that is the reality for your ass. So yes, you're being hunted, and I'll leave it there for right now.
I'm gonna say well said, and I'm gonna say this, y'all. Again, if you're in Texas, a standard murder, which is what would apply to Karmelo, it says usually a first-degree felony punishable by 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine if the defendant proves that they acted under, and it's quoted, sudden passion. That's quote unquote sudden passion caused by inadequate provocation. It may be reduced to a second-degree felony, which carries a penalty of 2 to 20 years in prison. So what I'm going to tell y'all is, because of what murder is, and it's saying if you're trying to cause bodily harm and somebody dies, and unfortunately in his situation, he pulled out a knife that people are going to interpret as he wanted to cause bodily harm, and somebody did actually die. So they railroaded him. I'm gonna say they railroaded him because they really took him to the 5 to 99 years, but they ignored this thing about sudden passion, which would have reduced it to 22 to 20 years. So that totally got ignored. So Karmelo got railroaded, period. But can you say he should get off? That's about the interpretation of the jury. Can they consider him being a person moving in self-defense? And the jury just don't see this nigga as a person able to defend himself. And that's just what the reality is. Okay.
What was the demographics of the?
Hold on. Truth Teller got to get in. Truth Teller got to get in. And we'll come back to you. Truth Teller, go ahead, brother.
Hey, what up, y'all? Can you hear me? Make sure my TV earbuds is working. All right. So I'm just gonna go straight to the point, because I've heard people talk. I've been listening. Honestly, except for Dr. Shea Butter, honestly, everybody is just making statements off of emotion. So their convictions or their i.e. bias is what the problem is. Right? And everybody has it. Everybody has it, but to the degree it's being shown, I'm very surprised. I never thought a group of men would just go off of how they feel about something versus what the actual facts are. How you would have done it when you were a kid versus what the law says. How you feel somebody should have responded because you would have responded a certain way in that circumstance. That sounds more like women than anything else. It doesn't really sound like men clarifying what should happen because of what the rules say. And I think this is a great show to identify that those convictions, preconceived convictions about what should have been done because of how you feel they should have been done, is actually really the problem in our entire society. And I'll stop right there.
Uh-oh. Y'all done disappointed this man.
He came in here throwing chairs, man, calling us all women and everything, man.
Yeah, he's right.
The truth teller?
Yeah.
Well, I did say I was going to go to you guys. So, Champ, go ahead, and then Bronk, go ahead, because I said I was going to come to y'all. Go ahead, Champ.
The issue I also had, too, with the jurors, he was supposed to have a jury of his peers. Did he really have that? No. There was not one black or two black jurors in there. And so that's really part of the reason. That's part of the reason why he got convicted of all this and everything, because they just saw another black man that doesn't deserve to defend himself and all that. So there goes the that Supreme Court ruling in I think it's called the Bastion. What is it called, fellas?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the term like that.
He's talking about the Bastion rule.
Yeah, the Bastion rule. That was a violation right there. The fact that there were no black jurors in there.
Yeah, he is going to get a repeal for the Bastion rule. They put out 3 black jurors just because they were teachers, and it was ridiculous. I do agree.
Oh, and then they kept a white one because she was a teacher.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's a lot to being someone's peer. So I'm gonna say the most court cases in America, you're not gonna get a jury your peer, and being black doesn't make you my peer. This thing is, it's very different black people out here too. Okay, but what? Hold on, what? All y'all switching up with these names. I gotta make sure I'm looking what y'all name y'all being for the day. But oh, he gone. Whatever Bronk was, I was finna give it to him. Bronk, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. But Champ just took it away from me.
He mistook you for me. Don't go off, Bronk. Don't go off, Bronk. He mistook you for me.
I was gonna ask a simple question.
Just Jesus Christ.
What were the demographics of the jury? And Champ took it away from me. And that's the whole point I'm making here. It's 2026. You have an all-white jury.
It wasn't an all-white jury.
It was like an Asian woman there somewhere. It was
that's white in the United States. That's white.
Were there any black people on the jury?
No.
Well, hold on, y'all. Before y'all go down this rabbit hole, I don't think we should even go down this rabbit because that's irrelevant. Just like what Roger just said. Just because they might be your race. Yeah, no. Just because they might be your race, don't mean they're your peers, right? There's black people from all over the world that could be part of the jury. That don't mean he gonna have a fair shake. What we should.
I disagree with that. I was supposed to be next. I was supposed to be next after Bronk, by the way. So here's the situation. Over 500 companies alone use prison labor in Alabama. Prison labor is valued at $11 billion a year, $2 billion in goods and services. This is why this nigga got 35 years. And this is why you don't have black people on the jury. This is why you have DeVore, where they look at the people. And on top of that, when they did a GoFundMe for this little nigga, his family used the money for stuff that was supposed to be for his legal fees.
Yep.
So
No, they didn't. Why do you keep saying that?
No,
That's
no,
not
no,
true.
no. The guy who represents him said it.
Bro,
The guy who
it's
represents
true.
him
His
said it.
family ain't shit. But at the end of the day, that's neither here nor there because, like I said, the reason why you get 35 years, the reason why we have all white jury is because your ass in prison is worth $11 billion. And that's why Jordan invests in prisons. Now I know they said that's not true, but since I don't like that nigga, I'm gonna believe it. Pass the mic.
There is a white guy named Michael Jordan that does invest in prison. There is a white guy.
Wow.
He said they say it ain't true.
So he don't like that nigga. So we will have to roll with it for now.
Okay,
right. That's why.
Figure it out.
Okay, y'all, let me get this in real quick. Shout out to Frank Willis. Frank Willis says, "Hey Roger, would you agree that Karmelo's father should also teach his son to use disproportionate lethal force in response to aggression?" See, this is the thing.
That's a silly question. Yeah,
well,
that's stupid.
It is a silly question, but I'm gonna point out something bigger. The fact that you asked that question is really about you don't think white people should be held accountable, and that's really what this is truly about. Black people, because you come from a white supremacist country, if you come from America, you believe in holding a black person accountable, especially when a non-black is involved. Now, my thing is, I understand Austin got held accountable. He got his life took for doing something he had no business doing. Other people say it as a tragedy because you don't believe he should have been held accountable. And people say all the time about you can't say how a person should respond. Well, Karmelo responded. Now we got a dead white boy. If you believe that, why you ain't cool with the white boy being dead? If you truly believe that you can't decide how somebody else should respond, well, he put his hands on him. He killed the man that put his hands on him. Why you not okay with that?
Wait, can I ask a question, Roger? Because I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. And when you watch the video, I think it was like when Karmelo ran away, and they was kind of bringing him back towards the scene. I don't know who it was, but it looked like somebody ran to the 30-yard line on the opposite side of the fence and was trying to get over that fence to get to him. Should they have let him get over that fence and get to Karmelo?
No, I mean people don't do what they want.
No, they shouldn't have.
They shouldn't have, right?
No, they shouldn't have.
It depends on what your situation is, because
hold on, Roger, hold on. Before you go into that, because you're right, you're absolutely right. But what he's talking about isn't going to be in reference to what you're saying.
This was after he stabbed him and he ran away, and they were bringing him back.
So somebody else decided to rush somebody that didn't do anything to him, and you're asking the question: should we allow him to rush him? Why? Was he in defense of himself, and that's why he rushed him? Like, how does that have any bearing? Yeah, how does this have any bearing?
I think well, I don't want you to say, because y'all basically after what Nameless said, it don't even make no sense to say. So I retract my statement.
Yeah, so I'm saying we do that because we're in our emotions. That's the kind of things that happens when you don't think logically.
True teller, I'm a Christian at the end of the day, and I'm a real Christian. I was brought up in the church. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian at the end of the day, and that's the way I was brought up. So I'm going by what I was taught and the way I was raised up.
Quick question: Old Testament or New Testament? Christian. Which kind are you? Old Testament say he got what he got. So are you really a Christian or not?
Old Testament is eye for an eye.
Thank you. So what are we arguing about?
Yeah, but that was an eye for an eye.
That was an eye for an eye.
This is what I'm saying, y'all. Because I say a lot of stuff because I got a show. So I didn't say a whole lot of stuff. And some of y'all don't get to hear everything I said because I done lost channels. But at the end of the day, if we buy into you can't tell somebody how to respond, the man, well, they weren't men technically yet. They were close, but not men yet. The boy put his hands on somebody. The boy got killed because he put his hands on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that you cannot tell somebody how to respond to you doing something wrong to them. You got to accept that death is okay. You got to accept that, or you don't believe what you promote. You know, I accept Austin got what he got, and that's why I say this whole thing is Jeff Metcalf's fault, because Jeff is the parent he lives with. Jeff is the head of his household. Austin is an extension of what Jeff is teaching. I understand.
I'm so offended with what you're saying, Roger. As a father, dude, you offend me. You keep offending me.
No, I'm saying I also understand you're going to have kids that's going to disobey you from time to time. That is a reality of human behavior. But it doesn't make you less responsible just because your kid disobeyed. You know, it's kids that took the car out when they wasn't supposed to, and they hit somebody else's vehicle. It don't make you no less responsible because you told your child not to take the car.
So therefore,
so wait, hold on. You're saying that because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure there's a law that says you cannot respond with lethal force, right? I'm pretty sure there's a law about that. And he responded with lethal force. This is why he convicted. No, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. In my world, Carmelo Anthony goes free. But we do got to be careful what we're saying, because at the end of the day, there is laws that tell you how you should respond, and you can't respond with. You can't always respond with lethal force.
There you go. But there is a law here that there's no law that says you can't respond. There's a governance. Because I looked this up. There's no law that says you can't respond to lethal force. There's a law. There are guidelines that's not even in the law. It's a policy. And honestly, he fits the policy. He was approached by multiple people.
Are you breaking up, Truth?
Well, honestly, it's about what you interpret as lethal force. That's really what it is. It's no set thing of what lethal force is. It's about what you interpret as lethal force. And at the end of the day, that's a question for the people that was in that jury. And they determined that it was not self-defense. They saw him and they could not see self-defense. If somebody else would have been there with the same exact circumstance, if you would have saw it as self-defense, then Carmelo good. I'm saying the issue, the jurors that were there didn't see him defending himself, so they gave what they wanted him to have. It is what it is on that note.
No, but hold on. But lethal force is not interpreted in this case. He died, so it's empirical evidence that he used lethal force. That's not an interpretation.
No, all that will be determined about the circumstances that's going on and what the jury sees. Because this is what I'm saying. Because the knife was present, it's easy for somebody to say that's lethal force.
No, because he's dead. That's why you know it's lethal force.
Hold on, brother. But the thing is, there was a force coming against Carmelo. Can you interpret the force that was coming against him was also lethal?
But the law doesn't.
But it doesn't have to be.
That's what the law says. If a person can defend themselves against lethal force, the law says you can. So at the end of the day, the jury has to make a decision. Was Carmelo responding to something that they consider lethal force? That is literally so. It's gonna be up to the jury's interpretation.
So they said as well. So they said
what I'm saying to you is that there are governance rules on when and when you cannot respond with lethal force.
Yes, there is. There is.
It is not up to interpretation whether he responded with lethal force because he is dead. That's what I'm saying to you.
I get what you're saying, but what got tried, not because he dead, he don't count. What got tried was, do you agree with Carmelo that the force he was responding to was lethal? You either agree with that or you don't agree with that. And if you don't agree, you got to convict him. If you do agree, you let him off the hook.
What was tried was, is it reasonable for him to respond with lethal force?
No, brother, he has a murder conviction. The only way you can get past a murder conviction, you must say there is self-defense, which means the jury has to agree that it was self-defense, which they did not do.
And what does self-defense say? Self-defense says that you are able to use lethal force in response to saving your life. This is what the law says.
And at the end of the day, that interpretation will come down to whoever's sitting on the jury when you try.
That is not an interpretation.
Hey,
That's
all right, good
No, no,
afternoon,
no, no.
guys.
It's gonna come down to the interpretation of a jury when that jury tries that person. At the end of the day, without a set parameter, it will be an interpretation of the jury at the time of whoever's getting tried. But y'all, let's slow down because I do want to get this brother in. Eric then came up.
Hey,
Eric,
what's
hey, is this your first time here?
Yeah, this is my first time. I
Welcome to
listened
the
to the
show,
one
brother.
last
Welcome to
one
the
you
show.
had. I'm doing okay. Now, I got a question for y'all. Two things. Now, did any of you guys feel like emotional or started crying when y'all seen the actual video come out?
I'm sorry. Repeat that question for me,
I said,
please.
did any of you guys y'all seen the video that came out on Juneteenth, right? Did any of y'all feel emotional or started like to anything like did it touch y'all emotions anything?
Yeah.
Because they said that when they played the video, the men were wiping their eyes, the ladies wiping their eyes, and they had the parents walked out. So it seemed like the video, the whole that was like the basis of the whole trial and the 911 call. But I didn't see nothing. But you can see him getting pushed. And if you slow the video down and play it like at point 0.5 or whatever, it'll seem like three or four of the guys are going up the benches too, but after he got stabbed, they kind of backed up, and that's why he went backwards and went around down the other way. So the whole thing seemed like he's supposed to get punched from the side. They're supposed to pack him up real quick, but he got the stab off before. So that was my whole thing. They made it seem like the video got played, that kind of like sealed the deal. There's nothing the defense could have did.
Well, I'm gonna say this
Uh-huh.
again. I'm not gonna retry the case, y'all.
Yeah,
The
I
case
know.
is decided because the people in the jury duty did not see what Carmelo did as self-defense. That is the actual facts of the situation. They did not see him doing something that they perceive as self-defense. If
Yeah,
you
but
was on the jury, you may have been able to perceive it as self-defense. But what have I been doing since I've been doing this show? When I talk about jury duty, I've been telling black men to do everything you can to get on the jury. Tell them what they want to hear so you can get on the jury, so you can actually make a difference in one of these situations. That's the best I can offer you at this moment.
and most of
Make
the
an effort to get on jury duty.
yeah, most even when I seen like Mark Garagos and the people who defended George Zimmerman, when they started to jump on when they said, man, they made a mistake by not picking a black person. That's what they messed up at. That's when I knew this kid was gonna get railroaded, because I understand it's not your race but your peers, but you got to have some type of person on that jury that can understand what a black person is going through. That's the whole point. Because he was guilty right when they picked the jury, and in their minds, because some people was home watching TV, they got friends talking to them, they might have had white sons. So this whole thing was strategic. So for people to make it seem like it was some type of stellar prosecution or some type of lackluster defense, that's the part that bothers most people, because he was tried and convicted before the trial even started, in my opinion. A
And
lot of people said that.
he was convicted at the point of arrest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Everything else
yeah,
was everything else was a formality. You
yeah.
don't have people saying, "Oh, you a teacher, so you can't serve." Oh, well, ain't nobody gonna come out plain and say, "Oh, you black, so you can't." If you look at everything that happened since he was arrested, the fix was already in, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't really hide it. My thing is, I'm not saying this because people be on too much conspiracy stuff. This is not a conspiracy thing. We saw what happened. If you couldn't tell the fix was in, you slow.
Exactly. And
Point
people
blank
trying to
period.
and they trying to intellectualize all these little nuances and laws and
But hold
debate
on, Eric.
nonstop,
But hold
huh?
on, Eric.
Go ahead.
Just because the fix is in does not mean he wasn't supposed to get a guilty verdict.
Yeah, I
That's the other
mean,
side of it, though. That don't
yeah,
mean he wasn't supposed to get a guilty verdict. You got a dead person. If you look
yeah.
at what murder is, if you do actions that can cause bodily harm and someone dies, that's considered a murder.
That was
So
man.
again,
It
the
was
only
supposed to.
way he's not a murderer, if you have to look at what he did and say that was self-defense, and the jury just didn't see it that way.
Yeah. I
That is
mean,
the
at max, it should have been manslaughter or negligible homicide, because he didn't get up. He didn't get up that morning. Nope. Nobody with common sense can say he got up that morning. Man, I'm gonna go to this track, man. I can't wait to kill somebody. Right when that dude invited him, right when that dude invited him in that tent, That's when the murder stuff should have went out the window because he was invited there from the first place. If he was sitting there when they put the tent up early that morning, waiting to kill somebody, yeah, common sense.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that's absolutely wrong. I don't
No.
need
Thank
to.
you.
I don't have to be invited. Even if I wasn't invited, don't that does not necessarily mean you can put your hands on another person. Because at the end of the day, it was in a public space, y'all. The issue about public spaces, they're public, which means everybody can come. You can put your tent up in a public place, but unless you go through certain measures, that does not mean other people ain't allowed to come where you put your tent at. That is the reality of things.
Yeah.
There's polite culture, and then there's reality, and they
I'd
don't
like to
line up
talk.
together all the time.
I'd
Hold on,
like to talk.
before
I'd
you
like to
go,
talk.
and my
Go
bad,
ahead.
because I had you in the back way longer than I meant to. My bad about
That's
that.
all right.
Uh,
That's cool.
Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. Hold on.
Yeah, he had
Before I read
another
that
chat that was
comment,
up.
I wanted to read something else that he put. But I'll read that one too. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, here we go. He says, without the audio of what was happening, there is no way I can make heads or tail of what was happening there. Now we're talking about the actual event where he got stabbed. And I'm saying that's a video that count. And that video don't tell you much. So at the end of the day, it's about what you're willing to believe. The video don't clarify what actually happened.
It
It's really
don't.
just about what you're willing to believe. And that's why I'm saying Carmelo messed up big time because he was talking too much and he said too much. And that kind of really helped to his conviction at
What
the end
about
of the day.
the part if he asked him if the dude was all right though? That they had to take that into consideration
It,
too.
no, the
He
jury
already.
don't have to care that he said that. And
He
they proved
already
they didn't
did.
care.
He already
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I want to. I want to talk,
Hold
talk
on.
truth
This is
tellers.
one last
You
thing.
Wait, reset.
This
You
go
one
got
ahead.
one
last
more?
thing. Hold
You
on.
got one more chat?
Reset got it. But this one last thing from no, I ain't gonna even crack that joke. I'm gonna leave that alone. But Black Root Strike says, can a 17-year-old have a jury of his peers? I do not
No.
think so. Which is one of the many reasons why you do not charge and try children as adults. Well, you know what, Black Root, I would say this, y'all. I will be dealing with that in a future show.
Very
I
good.
was thinking that.
Hey, cause real quick, I didn't see an episode on the first. I mean, this is kind of off, but I didn't see an episode on the first 48 where a dude was in there bawling and crying on the floor, and the detectives on the other side of the screen looking in the room be like, "Yeah, man, that's that kid, man. That's 100%. I didn't do it." He had said something, but his homeboy did it, and he wiped his hands off with bleach to get rid of the gunpowder or something. And they let that dude off because I just remember that episode from like 10 years ago when the dude was crying and on the ground and screaming and stuff. And even the detectives were like, man, that's 100%. I didn't do it. And they let that dude off because of that. And they get a friend like a 30-year sentence or something. So sometimes the emotions and the way that you act afterward does mean a lot in some instances, even though the person dies.
Well, I'm going to strike all that from the record because I don't even know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Okay, no,
And
just
that's
give an
why.
example. Just
No,
example.
I get it, but you talking about something from 10 years ago, I can't even recognize the
Yeah,
example. And that's why I try to get y'all to stay on subject.
I got you.
We can clear things up while staying on. It can happen. I promise y'all it can.
Yeah.
Not saying that your example is bad, but I'm saying I can't make no heads or tails of it because I don't know it. I don't remember it. So I ain't going to speak on it if I ain't it decently versed in whatever's being talked about. That's
I
a
got you.
good rule that content creators should follow. But hey, that's just me. Uh, why you
What
lying?
truth?
Go ahead,
What
brother.
truth tell? What truth teller at? I need to talk to truth teller because even though he be up here lying sometimes, he the most reasonable liar up here. So I'd like to ask him a question because he want to talk about facts. Is he still up here?
Nah, he
No.
gone. He gone. At least for the moment.
Did
Well,
you
look,
did
this is what I would have proposed. There's two elements that I would propose as facts here. That a kid got stabbed. B, he died. And the guy confessed to it without being asked. That's how he got convicted. That's the conviction versus convictions. That's how he got convicted. I don't think it had anything to do with race or nothing like that. The 35 years that he got, and I agree he's a child, it's hard to get somebody 35 years. After 35 years, after he gets out, whether it's 17, 20, or 35, Austin's still dead, bro.
I think we lost
That's why
him.
you get 35 years.
Hey, so you mean to tell me? So what if he didn't say anything at all? Would that make a difference if he didn't say nothing at
No,
all?
Yes,
his trial,
it,
yeah, it would
yes.
make a huge difference if he didn't say anything. If
How so? How
You know
so
so?
why?
his it would have
You know.
made a difference in his sentencing.
Can
He
I
was
say
gonna get
something, Roger?
convicted regardless. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You know why it would have made a big difference in his in the whole case period? Because you really can't see nothing in that video.
But the testimony though, you don't have.
You
If
re-
you can keep your mouth shut, but the 21 people are going against you,
you
and they
still
didn't, and they've been
still
coached,
But
and
but
even
but
you can
they're
still fight them.
21 of Austin's friends.
exactly. So that right there,
No, no,
that
no.
nailed.
Hold on, brother. That means you can actually say something about bias that they have on their side of things. Because just I just want to remind the jury that every single one of these people
No,
who testified are literally Austin's friends. You don't know how a jury gonna take it.
no, no false narratives. We don't
They're
even
gonna
know if they were friends of Austin or not.
We
No
don't.
false narratives, sir.
No, no, no.
you
Can I
That's
make a
you
that's
know.
statement?
that's
Is that
You
Ms.
that's
know
what
Holiday?
because
the
they
law.
got up
That's
there.
what
They
the
got up there and
that's
lied
what.
and said they didn't know him.
Hold on. That's what was reported by the lawyer in the case. He said that's what got reported. All of them were Austin's friends. That was reported by a lawyer in the room.
So
Okay,
that's.
not a random person who just said something. I don't know what he's talking about. It was
I
reported
would
that
say,
the lawyer said they were all his friends.
But they
But
got
I
still,
would say,
coached. We all
but
know they
still, it
got
would
Can I
be
please
coached.
hard.
make a statement?
But
They
it would
got.
still be
Let
hard
me
to
finish this last
convict him.
piece.
It still
After
would be
they got.
harder it would still be harder to convict him if he didn't say I did it, and then after he said I did it, he said there's no alleged I did it. So now
right.
you did it. You didn't throw yourself under the bus. I wish he
Okay.
never did that. I definitely wish he never did that. He would have had a better chance.
Now, I think it would have still been the same thing regardless, because when you got 21 people and then the people, 21 people, then they coached and the dude say he didn't know him, and then they pull out the 15 photos of him at different family events, and then the police report, they didn't put the brother on the stage because he instigated the whole thing. This whole thing was fixed, and
Well, hold on though. The thing is,
uh-huh.
this trial was not about a conspiracy. That
No,
wasn't
that's
what the trial. No, I get what you're saying, brother, but it was not. The trial wasn't about whether they conspired to get him or not. The trial was about did he commit a murder or not. And at the end of the day, had he not said what he said, the jury would not have had to take that in consideration because he said I did it. The jury had to take that as part of the information that they're receiving. And I'm going to say, yeah, what happened under that tent is not really clear enough for no jury to swing either way about what actually happened.
well,
Him saying that hurt him.
no,
I'm
I
not
think.
saying it would have saved him, but it definitely hurt.
Well, I
Yes,
think if I think what hurt him the most was not getting up there on the stand himself.
That
That was
too.
the killer for me. That was like the work, because all he had to do was give an explanation. Well, I had the knife from Walmart. I used it to cut rope, do this, do that. That would have got that out the way, and
Bro,
then he would have had his side of the story. He
it
kind of
wouldn't.
hold on one
It
sec.
wouldn't.
He could have kind of swayed
Man,
them a
you've been
little bit to
talking
get
for
them.
10 minutes, bro. You've been
I'm
talking for 10 minutes,
I'm
bro.
about to be. I'm gonna say that could have swayed the jury
No,
a
you
little bit to
done.
get
You done,
manslaughter. But
bro.
I'm
Let,
finished.
You
let
Go
done.
Eric
ahead.
finish.
Go
Let
ahead. Go
Eric
ahead.
finish.
I'm done. Go ahead. Let
I
him
don't know.
finish. Go ahead.
You've been talking for 10 minutes.
Hold on, because it's his first time. It
My
is his
mic is
first
off.
time.
I'm go ahead. Let him go. My mic is off. Go ahead. Let him go.
God,
Eric, hold on,
it
Eric. I
just
done let you get up here and say it's your first time. You just gonna
Hey, hey,
stop?
hey, Eric,
No, I just stopped
Eric.
Hey,
because
give
I
it
Welcome
to
to
know,
the
let
I
let
show,
know,
him
man.
I know
respond
it's his,
too. I'm
I
Welcome
waiting.
to
know
the
it's his
show.
first time. I know it's his first time. I know he's excited. I ain't got no problem with the brother,
I
but
said
we
I'm
gotta pack it.
done.
No, no,
I'm
no.
done, sir.
I'm
Go
not going
ahead.
back and forth. I'm not going back and forth with you,
My
Eric.
mic is
I'm
off
not.
right
I
now.
don't
He
even. I
talking
don't
to
even
me.
blame you.
Yeah, he
He
talking to
doesn't.
me right
He.
now. He talking more to me.
I know he's excited. It's his first time. He's doing a great job. He's well spoken and all of that. Well, bro, we got to take it on in the way we do things, Roger. Come on, don't do that. 10 minutes his first time up here. Come on, bro.
Hey, Eric, don't mind that man, man. He got issues, man. He ain't take his medication. We all
I
got to
don't even
deal
know
with
why. I don't even know why we let Bronx speak in public. I don't even know why. But I apologize, Eric. I apologize. I apologize. But it doesn't matter if he had a knife or a screwdriver. He stabbed him with it. That's what matters. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what he
All
used. He
right,
used
now
an item. Go ahead.
is that it? Okay, let me go ahead and respond to this. All right, so we said something earlier that needs a little bit of clarification. We said that okay, if you feel like you have imminent death that you're facing, then it would be self-defense. But it's not just that; it's imminent death or serious bodily injury. And I think that's the part that should have been actually debated more. That should have been the part that the defense should have brought up more. And that's the part that people in public spaces like we're talking about should be thinking about more, was the serious bodily injury part of it. It doesn't have to be imminent death.
I could agree with that. But
Yeah.
true,
Yeah, but
but Spotty, true.
my
Why
point,
do you?
my point is this: is that regardless of that, the family squandered away the GoFundMe money.
I think that was debunked, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Like,
not
cause
true. There's no
No, it
proof of
wasn't.
that. There's no proof
No, it
of that.
wasn't.
The guy
Any
who
proof?
the guy who was representing them was actually did an interview, and he said the guy asked him, "Why didn't you guys get a black lawyer?" He said, "Because the black lawyer wanted 500, and he wanted 200 just to speak to us." He said, "Ask me how much the white lawyer wanted." He said 75,000, and they hired the white lawyer. They cut corners. If this was my mother and I was got in some trouble, my mother would have went all out. She would have found
Right,
my phone and went into Roger and asked Roger and them niggas to do it. She would have went all the way out.
right.
didn't they freeze the money though? The Gibson Go money got
No,
frozen, didn't it?
no, they bought a house. They was able to buy a house and all that. So even if that
Well,
money was spent, that money was frozen. They were still able to buy a house and a new car, and only paid 75,000 for that boy to have representation. That's bananas, B. My mother
But they
wouldn't
had
have
money
bought
in
no
the
house.
first place though.
My
well,
mother wouldn't have bought that house.
look, at the end of the day, I mean, a lawyer does help. You get, especially a better lawyer, it does help. I ain't gonna say it got nothing to do with the situation because the lawyer is the person who can get you off, but the lawyer didn't do it. And I'm gonna say we got to look at something as far as there are reasonable facts to have a conviction in place. There are reasonable facts to have a conviction in place. So it's really about what you were gonna convince the juries of. Based on evidence, it's just what you're gonna convince the juries of. You got enough to get a murder, but you have something that way you can get off. But I think, well, which I'm going to read what Black Hoover Strike said. I think at the end of the day, Karmelo helped tip things against himself. He said, "You had a child confessing to police. That never should happen. He never should have been charged, tried, and convicted of murder as an adult," which I also agree with. His treatment in this entire process was wrong and racist. And I'm gonna say I agree with that. That's why I'm saying the man was convicted at the point of arrest. Everything was a formality at that particular point. But that doesn't mean he would automatically get off, even if they did things the right way. I am throwing that out there. Because you have enough there for a conviction when you actually read what's in the law, which I actually read, so people would know that you do have enough there for a conviction.
But
So it's really about jury interpretation at this point.
Mr. Roger, don't you think that's like kind of double talking? I mean, like how like the comment you just read is kind of right. So it's like people are just playing both sides of the fence. You saying it would have been a conviction regardless,
No,
racist
I
this, and
didn't
then
say it would be. I wouldn't
no,
say
no,
it
I'm
would be
not
a
not
conviction
you. I'm just
regardless.
asking. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. But people are do that's the part that kind of
What,
frustrates
what,
me.
what,
And then you jump on his side. He did everything wrong. He
No,
did
no,
too
no,
much
no, no,
talk.
no, no, no. That's not what's being said, bro. Because you said I'm double talking. No, I'm looking at what the law states.
Okay.
Okay, and because the law makes certain statements, you can't just throw it out. I read this earlier. See, this is when I know people didn't hear from the beginning, but that's okay. You hear now.
Yeah.
Under Texas Penal Code, okay, now it's 19.02. Murder is defined as intentionally or knowing causing the death of an individual, intending to cause serious bodily injury, and committing an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in death, or causing a death while committing or attempting to commit another felony. Now that part doesn't apply to him, that back part, but that first part about intending to cause serious body injury, the man did the boy stabbed somebody with a knife. So you do have something there to convict him, because
He
that's what
did.
they say murder is.
Yeah. He did it under duress or like
No, no,
It don't
I
matter.
do. I understand that, but I'm
okay.
saying you got to face the reality that something was done there
Uh
that
huh.
that can solidify a conviction. So your issue is, will the jury accept that he was defending himself or not? That's really what your real issue is.
Yeah, that's the whole
I,
issue.
I like I like Eric. I like him. He's passionate and he's honest in his passion about what he's saying. And this is what our tribalism looks like. This is what black tribalism looks like. And he's not even wrong for feeling how he's feeling because we love this boy because he's ours. He's
I'm
ours.
just talking about the
No, no, no.
devil.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just using you as an example. That
That's
this is what black tribalism looks like. We gonna find a way for him not to be wrong. That's what we do. But we just have to be careful about the way we go about it. I love the passion that you have for this young man, and and I hope that you continue to do so. But
yeah.
it blinds us from seeing that this is a murder. It is.
No, I
No
think at
matter how much
Max
we love him, it's a
manslaughter,
murder.
man, because he was fine up until everything was copacetic until the big bad bullies arrived and accosted him. Max, he should have got was manslaughter or negligible homicide. That's why if I was in the jury, it ain't getting past that.
Well, the thing is, he could have got the 2 for 20 if they would have saw it more as a manslaughter.
Yeah, that's what
At
they
the
should have
end of the
done.
day, they saw it as him being intentional on what he was doing. The fact that he was a good kid, the fact that didn't have trouble with the law, the fact that he had good grades, was also a leader, a respected individual. See, none of that counted because he's a nigga.
Exactly.
But the reality is they don't have to make it count. And that's what everybody got to accept. That's why I say at the end of the day, you got to be real with yourself. And are you going to stand 10 toes down on whatever you saying at all times? That's why you pointing out the fact that if you say a person don't get to choose how somebody responds to him, then you got to be okay with Austin Metcalf being dead. He brought it on himself. Now, if you
That's
don't believe that, you're flaking on what now it's a tragedy that Austin did. See, I
yeah.
never seen this as a tragedy. I know that man I know that boy put his hands on somebody else, and when you put your hands on somebody else, you can die. That's
Yep.
it.
Because everybody ain't going
And I
for
ain't
it.
never came off that.
Yeah.
If y'all
And
look at all the different stuff that I said, because I'm covering this somewhat extensively because it's like 4 or 5 episodes on this same guy, and I've said, hey, he pushed him and once you push a brother, you can't trip that you get killed. That you open up yourself to that.
So Roger, I can kill my wife because she pushed me.
I mean,
Wait, say it again.
but listen,
Hold
I
on,
mean, you
hold
make
on.
you trying to
Say
be
that
funny,
again.
but go ahead.
Hold on, let me ask that question again. Say it again.
I said,
That's your
can I kill my wife because she pushed me?
that's your
If that's how
that's your
you
wife. That's your
respond, that's how
wife.
you respond.
That's your wife.
That's a
I
There's
domestic
already know what
issue.
Roger gonna say.
Hey,
That's your wife.
but what
That's
if you're
your
on stairs
business.
though? What if you're on stairs? What if you're on bleach? All this extra stuff matters because
They
people
not.
fall.
They don't
I'm
give a
falling
shit.
downstairs
Peaceful business.
by getting
In
pushed
spot, they
before.
don't give a shit. I could literally come into our office and tell my wife was over me with a knife about to knife me in the chest, and they're gonna still send me to freaking jail.
Well, look. You asked me if your wife pushed you, can you kill her? I think that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
What have I always said about people in relationships? That's their business, man. So Great Black Reset is right. I'm not even concerned about what happens when
Well,
y'all fight. Y'all are a married couple. What happens
Hey,
happens, and it's fine.
say that again. I don't think the audience caught that. Great Black
Yeah.
Reset is
Oh, Great Black Reset is absolutely right. If a
Hey,
man
my name
and
Bennett
his
ain't in it.
if the man gets into it with his woman, I ain't got no judgment to make, especially if it's his wife. Hey, I'm down. I'm gonna be with this person to the day I die. They done said that to each other. I have no concern about how y'all handle y'all situation. None at all.
And
I'm just gonna say rock on.
I
Now,
want to say this. Oh, go ahead.
and I will say if I'm in the courtroom, I ain't gonna convict you no murder. It is what it is.
Manslaughter. And I want to say, I think he got a real good. I know people are pessimistic about this lawyers and all this appeal stuff, but everybody see the memes where they got the Casey, the white dude, and the 3 Hispanic boys, and they got 10 and 2 years and 3 years. The charges he should have got the negligible homicide and the manslaughter, and them guys was clearly in the wrong. So it's been a miscarriage of justice. And I think that's what's gonna get this thing overturned or get him at least a lighter sentence. Because I don't see this dude doing more than 5 years in prison. It
No,
sounds
see,
crazy, but I
that's a
don't.
miss. That's crazy because you don't know what what those guys lawyers was doing. You understand me? So like
Yeah.
they could have had the dream team for
No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't have a dream team. They just
Well,
there was regular people nobody know about. No cam, no footage, no nothing.
we don't know how
so
good
they collected
they were
$600,000 in GoFundMe, and they got regular lawyers.
What
because
I'm gonna
Chow
say,
got off and his lawyer was extra good.
That child did have a great lawyer because I seen the footage. But let me say this, real talk. It wasn't much they could do.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, the boy was already convicted when he got arrested.
Yeah.
You see all the different steps before and after his trial. The dude was getting convicted no matter what.
Exactly.
Okay, he would have had a chance if he'd have got if he'd have been a good system where justice actually counts. They say that county is 53% white, but you got 100% on the jury that's either white or very close to it. Now, I already understand how people actually operate in our society, and the way people operate in our society is you either black or white.
Yeah.
I don't care what you actually are. If you're Hispanic, you're gonna operate as a black person. You're gonna operate as a white person. It is what it is.
And they use the white dudes, and it probably they probably had one or two immigrants, whatever. And they got bullied to get put in line, and that was it.
Well, I doubt an immigrant was on the panel because I would assume that an American citizen would be on the jury.
No. When I say immigrant, I mean like non-black or non-white, like a Hispanic or Asian.
But you gotta say stuff that makes sense because you can't. There's an audience out there, and the audience got to be protected from misinformation.
Yeah, I got you.
So at the end of the day, they're gonna be American citizens. But American citizens act under the context of they're either black or they're white, and that's just what the facts are.
Yeah.
So when it come down to it, the dude was done when he got arrested.
Yep.
This is emotional.
That does not mean hold on. No, it ain't. That does not mean he should have got off. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's gonna be about what that jury interprets as was he defending himself or not. And any 12 people that would have got together has a right to determine to them, just them 12, hey, I see this as self-defense, or I don't see this as self-defense. And he got the people that didn't see it that way.
And look how quick they deliberated. They said, 2.5, 3 hours. So it was actually less than that. They came back so quickly.
Eric,
I mean, that's what Karmelo hurt himself. He talked too much.
Eric, dead body.
Yeah.
Weapon, fingerprints, blood on your hands, and you said I did it. What are we talking about when we deliberate?
Yeah, that's why I see he was already convicted, but it wasn't a fair trial from the start.
Yeah.
So
No,
bro.
Forget the color. A person, dead body, weapon, fingerprints,
and
blood on your hands,
and 21
and
witnesses.
you said to the cop without being asked any questions, "I did it." What are we gonna talk about when we deliberate?
We're gonna talk about how he didn't do it.
Let's just be honest, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what skin color you gonna get under them circumstances, bro. It's difficult to find a person not guilty.
Yeah, of manslaughter, not murder.
No. Look, this is the thing. Just because you get railroaded, don't mean you ain't guilty. That's the thing. And I'm not saying he should have been. He should have got a guilty verdict, but it don't mean you automatically. I mean, if you get railroaded, it doesn't mean you were innocent. You can get railroaded and be guilty at the same time. They just don't like you on the railroad you anyway. That don't mean you didn't actually do the crime.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying I'm in the middle with the manslaughter. That's what I'm with. I'm with that 100%.
Well, they
didn't say it, but
example of him, and that's what they did. Okay, because they could have hit him with the 2 to 20. But they said, no, we going with the 5 to 99. And we decided on 35.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet that if it was an actual, juror of his peers, someone would have put that on the table. Someone would have said, okay, well, what about,
put 17-year-olds in the jury box.
Like.
No, he can actually get a jury of his peers even as a 17-year-old. But that'll be a different show. It's going to be a different show.
Yeah. It wasn't getting,
I would say as a black man, you're never going to get a jury of your peers because we're such a small number of the population. That's always going to stand against us. And our best defense is to not get involved in circumstances like this.
Well, isn't everybody going through the court system a very small
100% agree, GBR. 100% agree. That's a grown man talking like that. Hold on, Bronco. Grown man was just speaking. You must listen to him.
A grown man speaking right now, too. All right. Now, my question is this. Isn't there a very small percentage of people in the United States total that goes through the court system?
That's true.
Yes.
All right, so if we're using laws of percentages here, then we should still be able to get a jury of our peers if we find ourselves in that situation, right?
Certain cities. If
They're
this
not
had
using
happened in
criminals to be in a jury, bro. They just using regular people. What are you talking about, bro? Your analogy makes no sense.
if this had happened in like Washington
No, it
D.C. where
does.
I
I'm
live,
saying that you're
or in New
making it
York,
seem as though
he would have got off with
Rock,
manslaughter or
if a
not
what?
white
guilty.
man goes on, if a white man goes to court, he has a larger population from them to pull from because he's a white man. You understand that?
It depends on the city and the zip
Yeah,
code
but
too. You
listen,
just yeah,
the
Collin County is mostly white. In Texas, 1 million people,
No,
only
well, no, they were
100,000 black.
they were 53% white, so it's not hard to get a mixed jury in that some kind of way. That's just
exactly.
not what they wanted to do. They wanted an all white jury, and they got one.
Yeah,
But again, just because you railroaded, don't mean you innocent.
Well,
Okay, the thing is, it's about how you're going to interpret what Karmelo seen in that situation, and are you going to agree with it's self defense or not? Because the way they got their law set up, you got to agree it's self defense to let them off the hook. Because it say if somebody
I,
dies, murder. It's simple as
I
that,
would
y'all.
argue. I would argue that if you're guilty, there is no such thing as a railroad.
no, that's
We
not
Okay,
true.
I wouldn't go that
we
far.
got to stop being we got to stop being victims because like we'll point to what sentence somebody else got. Let's prevent the crime being committed in the first place. Let's start there.
What percentage of
Let's start telling
exonerated
our
people are
children.
black?
Hold fast. I got something on screen, so I'm definitely next. Okay, even though I'm gonna let him
So
finish this nonsense. We'll go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah. Let me finish my nonsense. So like we know that the racism truly starts when the cuffs go on us. We know there's racism in the courtroom. We know there's racism when picking the jurors. We know it's racism when it comes to the judges and the law itself. So let's start telling our children stop doing things to put ourselves in position to face this racism.
That's
Okay.
true. I
That
agree.
that is true, but even if we're not committing crimes, we're gonna get tried anyway. The country already proved that. So yeah,
Don't make it easy for them.
of course, everybody should be able to agree to teach the kids to do things right. But that's not enough for a black male, especially growing up. It's just not gonna be enough. And we got to understand things about the law. And like I said, when I started looking up what's going on in Texas, if somebody died, it's murder. And
Somebody going to prison.
the only way you're not gonna get a murder is the jury gonna have to agree it's self-defense. Ain't no getting around.
Hey, what did that
No,
girl get? What did that
What?
police officer get when she kicked in that door and killed that?
Hold fast, hold fast. I said if I got someone on screen, I'm trying to get that out. Shout out to Nirvana Tyler. Okay, she says, I doubt a kid alone, especially a black one, is going to be starting mess to a group of white kids for no real reason by provoking them to fight him. And I'm going to
I
agree with
agree.
that. I'm going
I
to
agree with
100%
that.
agree with that.
I don't.
And but at the end of the day, even though I do believe you're right, Nirvana, I do believe you're right. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to what that jury's interpretation is.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to accept as people. It comes down to what that jury interprets. If they don't interpret self-defense, you cook.
So
Now,
what did?
Texas got it that way for a reason.
Yeah, because they got a lot of guns. What did that girl get? That officer for killing the black dude who was sleeping in an apartment. What did she get? Because he died, right? What did she get?
You might be talking about the Botham John case.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
you
There you
mean.
go. There you go. What
She
did she
got
get?
10 years.
For what? So she got a manslaughter or what?
I don't
Manslaughter, right?
remember. I believe it was manslaughter and she got 10 years.
Okay, well she didn't get
Okay.
murdered.
Okay.
Now here's
And,
wait,
and
wait,
Okay.
wait, hold
So
on.
here.
Before you do that, G
all
Girl, one
Well,
quick thing. One quick
Why?
thing.
go
Why
ahead.
she didn't
Like,
get murdered?
cause we
look, y'all. We can't be talking about every case when I'm
Okay,
doing.
I know. I'm just
Let's stick
asking
to the
somebody.
subject of the show, okay?
I'm
No,
just
Well,
saying that because
wait.
I'm not.
somebody just said
I'm not trying to get
I,
on your case, brother.
because
I'm
somebody just said
no, no,
murder
no.
no matter what in
This
Texas.
what, bro. This is what I've been saying this for years. Stay on the subject of the show because
All
this
right.
is the issue. When y'all start bringing up all this other stuff, I can't even talk about it unless I remember or know enough about that actual subject. Now, you'll put me in a position to do something that I shouldn't do, and that's talk about stuff I don't know about.
I got
That's
you.
why I try to keep y'all focused on whatever we're talking about on that particular day.
Yeah,
So
I just
so
say that because somebody just said something about Texas, and once somebody died, that's murder no matter what. That's all. That's why I brought that up.
it's no. I said you're going to prison. I didn't say it was going to be murder. I said you're going to
Now,
prison. If
I
somebody
think he was
died
talking about.
in Texas, you're going to prison.
No,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
think he was talking about what I said because according to what I've seen about that law, once somebody dies, there is a murder, and the only way to get around it, you got to prove self-defense.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right.
But here's the thing, and this is one of the things I think we do poorly as black men. When we don't have a real legal argument for these type of things, we hide behind white people. What did the white people get? So what? The white people get less time than we do. It ain't fair. It ain't gonna be fair. This country ain't set up for it to be fair for us. So what? How
You
about we
can't.
not kill people?
You can't lay down and just
Okay,
have that
let
type
me
of
respond to this
mentality. I
because I
That's
can't
not
say
understand
laying
what
that.
he's
down.
going
That's
on.
what you.
Like,
He's
here's the
not saying
thing.
laying
Like,
down.
no, man. And I ain't trying to get
He's
to like no dichotomous thinking about this thing, but like we thinking a whole lot about like not doing aggression, avoiding aggression. Don't put yourself in a position where you can be considered a criminal. But then the flip side of that is okay, now you don't want to be a victim either. It's like, okay, so now
Correct.
what do you do? So you gotta avoid and kind of like thread the needle on that, and you gotta really focus some more on that don't be a victim part because that part just flies under the radar constantly.
No, I think
no. I
we
think
all
You have
when you
you
have
have
that
to
mentality,
you have to
you
learn.
gonna have more idiots
Yeah,
like that dude in Tennessee, who in jail now for antagonizing black
no,
people.
bro, that ain't
But go
got nothing
ahead.
to
But
do
go
with this
ahead.
case. Ain't got you keep doing it, man. Ain't got nothing to do with this case.
They gonna
Listen,
keep popping
you
up.
have you have to learn self defense, and the purpose of self defense is so that you don't get killed and you can get away.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
we've seen black dudes
Thank you.
use self defense, knock somebody out, they hit their head on the curve and they die and still get time. So no matter how you spin it,
but they don't get murdered.
nobody thinking about that type of stuff when they're in the heat of the moment. And
No,
it's
you
it's,
don't
it's
get.
human. Nobody thinks
No,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
You cannot justify use blind anger to justify things.
The
You can't use it. You
reality
can't just say
is
that.
the reality is you are supposed to be thinking about this stuff in the heat of the moment. You are a black man in a society that got one good place for you to be if you alive, and that's prison. They ain't got no other good place for you. So when you get yourself into something, you got to be thinking about this stuff at all times.
Yeah, I
And
mean
at the
that's
end of the day, no, I said earlier today, I ain't never put my hands on somebody and I regretted it. If I did it, I was glad I did it. Because ain't no second chance. And that's the reality that now I'm gonna say Great Black Reset is somewhat saying that. He just saying it in a horrible way. And he's trying to use this victim narrative that I don't even believe make the actual difference. But he's saying the same thing. At the end of the day, you got to deal with what your reality is. But also to deal with your reality, you do need to kind of know what the rules are. And if you find out the rules don't actually matter, it's okay to ignore the rules at that point. You can't act like a rule matters if the rule don't actually matter. But I'm saying as a black man, you got to be thinking about this stuff at all times. And you need to learn this as a child. And that's real
yeah.
talk.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying that people don't when they square up with people or they go knife to knife, gun to gun, whatever. They not
Bro,
man that the doctrine of the law and nobody thinks like that.
if
It
I
sounds good
got
in
to hit
theory.
you, if I got to hit you, I got to be good with it. If I got
Okay.
to shoot you, I got to be good with it.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't understand and know what the future gonna hold. So if I
Yeah.
shot you, I got to be cool with the fact I shot
Yeah.
Right.
you. And
This is
if
no.
I can't be cool with it, I can't do it.
This is no
And
different than a father teaching his son how to drive, and part of it is him teaching him how to interact with cops at a stop. It's the same kind of thing. Like when we need to learn conflict resolution and understand, like, hey, if you take it so far, here are the possible consequences, and you need to be ready to live with that. And children are not ready to live with the consequences. That's the thing that breaks my heart about what I saw in that video. You can tell immediately he wasn't ready to deal with them consequences,
Well, he wasn't
but it
ready
was
to
too
get.
late.
Yeah.
because I would say he
We
wasn't good with what he did. End of the day,
No, he wasn't.
he wasn't good with what that was. So I understand what Roger's saying, but that goes back to what I'm saying. He knew he did something wrong.
See, I wouldn't even necessarily look at it and say that he 100% for sure did something wrong, because what happened under that tent is really unclear. So the only thing we can really do is the only thing we can really do is interpret. No,
No,
Yeah,
I'm not talking about him. I'm saying the only thing we can do is interpret. Now, I'm
yeah,
gonna say it's bad that he's uncomfortable with his decision, because I'm not crying over no dead person. I
yeah,
meant to kill him. That's what
but
you know what I'm saying.
you're an adult. You're an adult, and you can live with the consequences because you can measure and weigh it out quickly. Even in the heat of that moment, you, Roger, as an adult man, would have been able to measure out how far do I need to take it and what I'm willing to live with. Children don't have that kind of brain power.
No.
yeah,
I do agree with that, and that's why I said that when it comes down to it, you got to look at the fathers in this situation, and even though it's uncomfortable, you still got to blame dads for what their sons did, because the fact that Carmelo was talking, I got to blame his dad. It may not be convenient for me to say that, but that's just what it is. But the same way I got to blame Jeff that he got his son killed. Because
No,
Jeff didn't stress it to where he would listen. Jeff just ain't stressed to the point that he would listen. And at the end of the day, you don't get a second chance. Your boy just gone.
yeah. They
I
were supposed
agree.
to.
I agree that Jeff's at fault for not teaching this or driving home the point that you should keep your hands to yourself. But Carmelo's dad got to do the same thing. You can't go forward in time and say he shouldn't have been talking to the cops. No, he shouldn't have stabbed him.
Okay, so
No,
that's so people give.
the reason I'm not saying he shouldn't have stabbed him is because I don't get a clear picture of what's going on under that tent.
No,
So
you're saying you're the reason why you're not saying it because we black. Let's
Oh,
be
come on,
honest.
man.
no. I'm not gonna say what happened if I don't know what actually happened.
All
I
you
think
got,
that's irresponsible.
so because all you got really the evidence of what happened is what the other brother who's alive said. Him grabbing the bag, he start asking questions. So it was either get cornered, get packed up, and get beat up real quick, or pull out that
No,
thing. You got something on it to defend yourself. Get out the situation. That's the bottom line of what
no,
happened. And
y'all keep
he happened to kill somebody on accident. That's what happened. Get
you
packed up,
you
get punched,
y'all
get packed, get to
skipping
the
the
side.
evidence on purpose. The reason
Listen,
why we know what happened because we got a dead body.
yeah.
No,
So
no, brother. That's not me skipping the evidence. What I'm saying is what I'm being showed about what happened under that tent. I don't have enough information to say I'm good with what Carmelo did or I'm not good with what Carmelo did. That's what I'm saying. He may have made the right decision. I can't tell because
yeah.
the video don't give me enough information to make an actually educated decision about it.
What? How do
Okay, so
y'all feel about?
what are we
What?
question about what happened under the tent? What's the question?
My thing,
It's
no. My thing is, I don't have enough information to determine if he should have pulled that knife out and used it or not. I can't say he shouldn't have did that because the video don't tell me that. Now, the video of him talking, I know enough about that to know he shouldn't have been talking, whether he pulled it out or not. That's why I'm commenting on that. The video don't tell me whether he should have pulled that knife out or not.
even on the 911 tape when the other guy was talking, whoever called him, and that he was saying, "Well, my friend is laid out. He's bleeding everywhere," and the lady saying, "What the?" He said, "So what happened to him? He got hit with something. I couldn't. I don't know what it was." So it's like even the people up under the tent didn't really kind of get a grasp of what's going on until everything started, to take place. And
And to clarify, the video I got, there is no sound. There is no audio.
yeah,
That's not
Right,
telling me anything.
yeah,
So
right.
I'm not gonna say he shouldn't have pulled that knife out and used it. Now we can argue, and I've said all day long when somebody says something, well, he should have had the knife. I can agree with that. I can agree with he should have brought it to the event, but I cannot agree that he shouldn't have pulled it out and used it because I don't have enough information to make an actual decision about that.
yeah. And then the other brother said he turned his head. Happened so quick he didn't see what happened. So everything was a total contradiction to what the witnesses were saying to the police report. So I don't know. This whole thing been messed up, man. This whole thing is confused, and I don't know what it is, man. It's just crazy.
It's not
confusion is on
confused.
purpose.
It's about we live in a country where people get to make a determination with the information presented to them, and the jury got information presented to them, and there's enough information presented why they can say guilty, and that's just what the fact is. They also could determine Karmelo was using self-defense, but they did not come to that conclusion. And my thing is, at the end of the day, I can see that it was something bogus going on because of all the different things that got us to that point. When you get your retiring judge to handle the case, so no matter how it goes, there ain't really going to be no backlash. I understand that. The fact that you close it off to the public, yeah, I get that too. You know, you know what I'm saying? The fact that we still ain't got true information on what's going on, because if the video's got audio in there, and I mean, you're not gonna really know until transcripts and all information is truly out there. So at the end of the day, the limited information I got, I cannot say Karmelo did the wrong thing. All I can say honestly is that he got a problem he got to solve because of what he did. But I don't know if he did the wrong thing under that 10 or not.
Now, you know how you see how the camera footage kind of moves and it focusing on like the twin brother, like him coming in and they walking, and they got the camera where it under the tent. You only see it move when he backs up and he goes to the left and he goes down. It's like I never seen cameras like that. Just focus on a person. People say that's an altered video because I don't know. It just seemed like they just focused on two main characters and nobody else mean nothing. It was kind of weird how that camera footage came out, huh?
Why do we need video
I'm
get a
saying, I'm
conviction?
asking a question about why is the camera focused on just two people, zooming in when they taking off, or they going towards each other, or they, I just never seen nothing like that. So,
Because they're able to do that once they have a video. You can
so
literally
they
like
can alter. So that's called altering a video, right?
no, it's not altering the video.
What's that
We can
called?
No,
make a
they're
we can make a
extrapolating.
we can make
They're
a video.
extrapolating certain information.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can make a video and we can zoom
Actually,
in on
GBR
certain
extrapolation is actually based on previous. Right.
and we could zoom in on certain aspects of the video once we have a full video. We can literally zoom in on somebody. We could put a white circle around somebody to track them around. That video that you've seen is basically from a school who doesn't need crazy surveillance, but they have cameras there, and that the camera was obviously from across the field pointed to that side.
Yeah,
You
they should
understand what
have
I'm saying?
one behind them in front. They
Not
should have at least 4 or 5.
That's not a school that's probably not a school that needs surveillance like the school Joe Clark was the principal of. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't need that, and you're definitely not going to get audio from that kind of video. Definitely not getting audio.
And that's an
And when
upscale
people
area,
need
so they should have top of the line.
nah, but that it's a
Nah,
school.
can't say
Not
that.
all schools need that kind of surveillance. Like the
Usually
kind of
you have
surveillance that
you
keeps
usually
public
have
safe.
the better surveillance at the worst schools have the better surveillance because they need it.
There you go. Yes. So you could see when they show
Can I get my
Austin and them
opinion real
walking
quick?
into the who's that Brock?
Oh, that's usual business, man.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're
you're
doing this
flaming in the
usual
go.
thing. Yeah,
You
man.
flaming
Go
the go,
ahead,
Roger.
brother. I don't even know why Roger ain't get shit here. Go ahead, man. Give us your 2 minutes, man.
Now you breaking up.
Got the AL mobile today.
Yay yay. He got the yay yay mobile.
Dang, I can't hear him at all.
Probably
Yeah,
he
sleeping.
got
you ain't coming in.
he got one of them phones from Xi Jinping over there.
Must be driving.
Hold on. Give
No,
me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
my bad, y'all. Yeah, I took a couple phone calls. I heard my name. I don't know what I missed. I took a couple phone calls.
Now
Nah,
usual business in here,
we
pussy.
got usual business in here. You ain't tell us he was in here, man.
My bad. Well, I mean, I take phone calls. It is what it is. My bad. My bad. And trust me, y'all, I do not take phone calls when I'm on air unless it's extremely important. Okay. So those were extremely important. All right. So user business not ready for opening statement. He just came up here to mess around. Is basically what I'm picking up now.
No. I'm actually trying to get my little 2 minutes in real quick. I just want to see, can y'all actually hear me? Like, can y'all genuinely hear me?
Yeah, we
We
can
hear
hear you.
you.
Hello?
We hear you.
All right, cool. Um, when it comes to the situation of the law, necessarily, the law is into interpretation. So you can interpret how whatever you see. You see this as reasonable force to you, it is reasonable force in your eyes. So that's the issue I think we're y'all actually having. When you live in a system of white supremacy, they determine what is righteous and what not righteous, and by their metric. I say necessarily, if you live in the United States, you are under the rules of the white man. Whatever he says will go. If he says that quote unquote, he believes that what you did was incorrect or unneeded force, then it will be considered unneeded force. This is why I said the being with your peers and whatnot was actually was probably the issue that he did not get. So on my end, that's just my interpretation. Who is under or who have the ability to enforce it, and they enforce it. That like Roger said. Uh,
Okay, we done lost you now. All right. Well, y'all, we are getting close to the end of the show. We got less than 5 minutes to go, really, to get out of here within 3 hours. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say shout out to Nirvana Tyler. I do appreciate you being here. I think I may have seen you before here. I don't know. I may have seen you before. I'm gonna say that if y'all are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you like the best show on social media, you're gonna get it right here. Because we're gonna dig in all the nooks and crannies about all the stuff that really need to be discussed. And we do this at 9 o'clock Monday through Fridays, y'all. Chicago time. Not where you at. Chicago time. Okay. So definitely subscribe if y'all like what's going on over here. If y'all ain't hit that like button already, definitely do that. Now they just said something the last couple minutes, but I didn't hear it. So screw everything they said that I didn't hear. Okay. But we're gonna do this, y'all. We're gonna have closing statements so y'all can get y'all last piece out on this particular subject, and then we're gonna close it out. I know we're gonna go past the 3-hour mark just with the closing statement. That's what I'm assuming. So we're gonna have Dr. Shea Butter go last. So I guess we'll start on your usually you just talk. So we'll start on the other end. Inspired Truth, your closing statements about this particular subject matter.
Yeah. Just pay attention to the system that you're in. Forget about what the system says that it is and pay attention to what the outcomes actually are, what it actually produces. Like, you don't really have a justice system for real. You have a control system, and you got to move accordingly in dealing with that.
All right. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Okay. Then the great white supremacist, you would be next, my brother.
I'ma just say, Negroes gonna coon every once in a while. I just say that when we do coon, let's just be careful with it. That's all. Let's just be careful when we choose to coon. Maybe you want to tone the cooning down a little bit more in these high profile cases.
I appreciate you, brother.
Statement. That's my
I
closing
definitely
statement.
appreciate you. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
It was like cool responsibly.
Eric, you're on mute right now if you don't know. It's on you, brother. What any closing statement you want to make on this subject
Just real
today?
quick, I think this young man gonna be set free in a few years. I mean, because we've seen worse situations than this, and we've seen people get off with way worse. So that's all. Just the speculation and just the whole miscarriage of justice bothered me. But that's all I got to say on it.
All right, appreciate you, brother. And again, welcome to the show since it's your first time. Okay.
I'm a subscriber.
Even though I hate to give it to him, why you lying is next.
Okay, I'm gonna say two things, man. I hope Carmelo Anthony is freed soon. I don't think he should have been tried as an adult. And I want to read Black Uru's last two comments because we didn't get a chance to get to them. One says, you can believe you did the right thing, yet admit what comes of it." And then his last comment was, "Reset is doing what racist white people often do, race bait while accusing black people of race baiting." I appreciate that, Black Uru. I can't wait till you get back up here on the pedal.
Well, I'm gonna
I
say
miss you,
shout out
man.
to Black
I,
Olu.
I miss you, man. I'm not even gonna rebut it. I miss you. I miss you, my brother. I miss you, my brother. But that's all.
I'm gonna say shout out to Black Uru. You the greatest, brother. You the greatest. Okay? I apologize that I missed reading those comments, brother. That's what I
We got
apologize.
you.
I missed it. Okay.
We got you.
All right. So that'll put no placeholder up as next. No placeholder. Any last words?
No, Roger, I'm gonna hold my tongue. We'll talk later.
Okay. Cool. All right. Can't correct niggas. It's on you.
I just want to thank Dave Chappelle for making that skit when keeping it real goes wrong. Because I don't think our people really understood where he was coming from with it. We laughed at it, but I don't think we understood it. And I'm just going to tell everybody, like I tell all my little homies, man, you don't have the complexion for the protection. You don't. So don't need protection because you ain't got the complexion for it. And I end right there.
Hey, powerful words. That's real talk. All right. A good kid, mad niggas. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah. How long was the blade of the so-called knife that he used?
It was less than 3.5 inches, as reported.
So the white boy couldn't even take 3 inches? God damn.
And that's it, huh? Okay. All right. Usual business. Hey, you got something you need to say? Get off your chest. Usual business going once. Usual. Okay, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, living in and you live in the White House, what's to you, what's fair and what's not fair. He deemed that was unfairly lost because this child was black. So, along you're gonna be in the system, you got to accept what he gives you. That is what it is. Stop.
Okay, we didn't even really hear that for real, but cool. Okay. I'm sure you meant well.
It's like computer love.
Sure you meant well. But we go give it to well, you know, I guess I'm gonna read this real quick. Shout out to Charlotte Hamlet. She said they need to follow the money when it comes to Eddie. I believe Eddie has or had the video, and allegedly either Metcalf talked to Eddie or the lawyer. Now I'm gonna say that's probably true based on all the other little things that's been said. That's probably true. So shout out to Charlotte Hamlet for that. Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. All right. We got the one, the only Dr. Shea Butter is next. You got it.
Okay. Again, Black Power to the chat. Black Power to the panel. Shout out to Michael Jordan for owning. Ooh, you can Shazam that, sir. And yeah, and thank you, Mr. Sims, aka Niggas Can't Teach Nothing. It's hard being a genius, you know. It's lonely at the top, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. But what I'm going to say is this: when it all comes down to it, it's all about economics, ladies and gentlemen. And America has taught us today that he is worth more behind bars than rehabilitated or to be set free. And that's just the bottom line. Whether it's your conviction versus convictions or your reality versus perceived, America has spoken. It is said that he's worth more behind bars, and that's it. And then to the tribalism point, whoever said that, shame on you. Shame on you. Because the world is not fair. We should not operate fairly. We're not model minorities and all this other crap. Tribalism works. And hopefully one day black people can see that and exercise tribalism because that's how you survive. Shea butter out. Black power.
Black power.
Yet you blame other people for being tribal.
Oh, sorry. One other thing. Sorry. Thank you. Lord have mercy, I almost forgot. And that's why there's so many Jamaican babies born out of wedlock, because all those Jamaican babies are
And that's why you in Hong Kong and you can't get out. Dude, you've been in H for 20 years. You don't have a Chinese wife, bro.
That's why that's a dirty dog, that boy. That's a dirty dog. Golly.
Y'all know who that man is. Okay, so it is what it is. You know what? Spin Class is just coming back. He may be coming for the after show, but I'm gonna give him a chance to make a closing statement if he wanted to. He may not want to. Spin Class, did you want to make an opening statement? You just coming for the after show?
Yeah, I'm in for the round table. I don't want to be arguing with you niggas in public, man.
Okay. All right, y'all. Look, again, y'all, this is the greatest show on social media. I mean, real talk. It's the greatest show on social media. We going to get to all the stuff that needs to be got to. We going to do it at our own pace. I know a lot of people have been talking nonsense about this situation, and I get it. Folks just want to make money off them. But I care enough about the brothers to not misrepresent them like that. So I wanted to see the actual footage and see what I can gain from the footage before I made any public comments to see if I should change anything I said. But see, I said stuff that I'm cool with. I said until I see the footage, I'm standing with them. Now that I see the footage, I understand where a conviction could come from. I will say that. There's enough information, seeing the footage and reading at what the law is and how they determine what murder is in Texas. There's stuff there to make a case. So it really just came down to how you interpret the stuff. And this is really about people's convictions. And we as adults, we see things a certain way and how we're convicted in the ways that we see. That's why he was guilty to certain people before they saw anything. And that's why he was innocent to other people before they saw anything. And that's why some people didn't budge either way after they saw something. Stop letting your convictions rule you unless you really, really, truly understand that's where you're supposed to be convicted in. And I understand being rooted in black love, but we got to still look at a case by a case. And I'm going to say for all you people that want the black guy held accountable, but you don't be wanting the other guy held accountable, shame on each and every one of y'all. Now, I'm not saying it was really a good way to do it in this particular situation, but you can tell, because everybody who thought this was a tragedy, that Austin was killed, at the end of the day, if you truly believe that Austin should be held accountable, why do you see it as a tragedy? The boy was looking for trouble and you found it. You found a whole heap and lot of it. Okay? That's what happened. Regardless of whether you agree with Karmelo being convicted of murder or not, Austin found what he was looking for. And it just is what it is on that note. You know? So politely, I'll say shout out to his family and his loved ones, because I understand y'all lost a son, a cousin, you know, whatever. I get it. You're going to hurt because that's your family. But that boy got exactly what he was looking for. He just didn't know he was going to get that much up. Karmelo, I'm going to wish you well, brother. You got a long, hard track to go right now. So I'm going to say good luck. And I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.
I'm about to cut.